안 하기 때문에 저희가 일단은 예의 선수가 있는 상대로는 이겨본 적이 없어가지고 사실 다른 팀보다는 어려울 수 있다고 느끼는데 하지만 체인버가 이제 너프가 됐고 그런 거에 대해서 이제 예의 선수가 어떻게 할지는 잘 모르겠지만 방심하지 않고 저희 하던 거 잘 준비해가지고 그대로 일단 아직 갈 길이 멀기 때문에 저희가 좀 더 이번에 나왔던 실수들에 대해서도 좀 수정하고 고쳐야 될 것 같고.
Interesting takeaway from that was, when he said,
अबे यार
now that
चेंज
Chambers
नहीं हुआ
nerfed,
भाई.
Yay, we don't know how he's going to deal with it. I think the entire society breathed a collective sigh of relief when Chamber was nerfed because he just didn't know how to deal with Yay.
Yeah, absolutely. It is good to see Chamber out of the way. They're hoping to break that streak of never being able to beat Ye. The other thing I got out of that interview is that he said, I saw it in their eyes, and I knew we won the match. And that is the most badass thing I've ever heard.
If my opponent says that, I'm out. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Fuck
Guys,
that
wear
shit.
sunglasses next to your ex.
It's honestly like I'm just curious if that's a strategy, just to give him a death stare and see what happens. Of course, though, for more on DRX's incredible strategies, especially on maps like Haven, let's actually send it over down to a guy who has plenty of hair to share. It's Mitch Man to break down one of their plays.
Hello.
You know what? I feel like I have to direct this one straight to Mimi after this. I'm not sure Golden Boy and Tom will quite follow.
Hello?
This one's about conditioning, although with the hair that they had earlier, maybe they will understand a bit. This round that we're about to look at takes place in round number 10, right after BBL found their very first round over on Haven. Now, it's important to note that there's been a lot of aggressive pushes out of DRX. Right away, I'll just tell you, 2 of the last 3 rounds, push up C long. Exclusive aggression on that one laneway, not much else to it. The previous round, they also spotted a turret on middle, and that's important as well, you'll see why. Let's see how the round starts out. It's an interesting default from DRX, nothing too complex, but just the fact that we're going to begin with A-long aggression out of BBL, and I think DRX had a very good read on that. The reason for that is, when you see them peek out on C-long, they have a flash prepared for this angle, but they never actually end up throwing it through. Instead, opting to jump peek it, they don't see any aggression, no need for the flash, and they reset into mid defaults. They know that there's no garage push, and they know that there's no B push. On the back of that, and the recon plus the Astra smoke on A-long, they make a good call here. Whether it's because they think they're stacked and pushed up A-long, or another read, we don't know. But this, I'm pretty sure I can point to the previous round as why they decide to make this exact play. Keep in mind, they have got a lockdown over on Aslan Machado. They have practically all of the ultimates. And real quick, if we just imagine a C push, you get the plant down, you play C long. Like we've seen from them before. You're just going to get Rolling Thundered, Cosmic Divided off, and now you're screwed. They're just diffusing, and you're in trouble. They have to throw in more complexity. This round sees them destroy the turret that spotted them in the 2v3 last round. This is a good adaptation to remove that early on. This is the mid-round for DRX. Already pretty early on, but they're trying to strip the utility out of their opponent's hands. It creates a window while that turret's refreshing, and they'll posture up for this C push. This is where things got really interesting, because remember I said 2 of the last 3 rounds were exclusively C-long pushes. This is all they were doing. Now, they obviously have players in garage. That noise is about to be made here as they go through the turret, or the remaining alarm bot will spot them. That response, if you're a C player who is being rushed consistently and you have a lockdown, this elicits just sheer panic. You're expecting that C-long push, now they're throwing in garage as well. That's another level of complexity for you to deal with. So they decide, and rightfully so, put down the lockdown, look to help on the side a little bit, and they're expecting this push out of garage. There's a smoke to block it, so it's not the biggest deal, and they're slowed by the Killjoy utility. All in all, good position to play from. Rolling Thunder.
कौन जीत रही है? बताओ जरा, बताओ कौन जीत रहा है आज? अपन सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं DRX को.
Now they're focused on C. They're focused on fixing the issues that they've seen in previous rounds, and RB is just going to go walkabouts.
पर अपने को यहाँ पसंद है.
Here, look at the crosshair placement. This player is not even looking at B. There's no utility there. It was destroyed 30 seconds ago. But the main concern here is they're doing their same C-long push with garage, and they don't know about RB, who comes up behind, catches Aslan Machado completely off guard, destroys the lockdown, allows this Rolling Thunder to actually capitalize. Remember, they're just going to get killed by the lockdown. And this is at 8 1 on the scoreboard. Like, the fact that we go into round number 10 with this level of dominance from DRX, a C-long rush that had worked consistently, and they say, let's not just push this down through the 1-lane way, let's do this as a 3-lane push on Haven. Completely caught BBL off guard, and those kind of adaptations are what you see from teams when they're being punished, when they're struggling, when they have to dig deep. But TRX, they will dig deep even if they're 12-0 up. They want to win every single round, and it's one of the most terrifying teams to play against just because of how clean they can be. So there's a little bit of the conditioning from DRX. Honestly, we could talk about them all day long, so I'll toss it back over to the desk to get this game started.
Thank you so much for that exquisite breakdown, Mitch. And I think this just goes to show the layers upon which DRX have grown since we first saw them till now.
Yeah, back at Champions, there was a lot of critique that this was like the pre-round team, and they weren't very good at mid-rounding. But I think with more time, now with the IGLing, they're kind of getting used to it, and I think they've improved a lot at that mid-rounding.
Yeah, for sure. Now let's go ahead and move on though to their opponent, which, you know, they looked so outstanding in their opening matchup against Paper Rex, where they, you know, look, I counted them out,
Zephyr,
and they very
Vanity,
clearly
Celsius.
counted themselves in. You got Leaf, Zephyr, Vanity, Zelsis, and Yay. This team of monsters, honestly, Tom. Now we see it come to fruition here.
My God.
They
And
have
look at it.
sunglasses. They're ready.
They are prepared. But yeah, Tom, this team looks very dangerous this tournament.
Yeah, again, like you sort of came into this tournament looking at this as like, okay, it's the sort of guys who are already on CLOUD9 and they're bringing in some really heavy firepower, but I'll be honest, it's the people that were there before that have impressed the most this tournament, being fantastic in the form of Leaf and Zephyr. They have been two of the standouts so far, and honestly, there's looking like there's a hell of a lot of depth right now.
Yeah, there really does. And for a fairly new team, I mean, the coordination on point, also getting the crowd behind you, never going to hurt for the side of C9.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, you want to walk out there and have as much people cheering for you as possible because it's loud proof. That definitely does help out. But let's go ahead and check out this clip of Vanity from the Verizon post-match interview, who had some thoughts on the recent meta changes.
कभी आएगी कभी चालू है खाली कोड़ा जल्दी चल.
But I mean, I think people over-exaggerate nerfs. Yeah. Like, it's the same thing happened when Astra got nerfed, for example. Like, people thought she was completely dead. The same thing happened. Like, Chamber is not the same agent. He's not going to take over games nearly as frequently, but he still has like a really strong place. But I think you have to have comps around him as the thing. And then, what was the other part? Sorry.
It was Stinger and Chamber.
Oh, the Stinger. I mean, the Stinger nerf is just a price nerf. Like, they didn't nerf the gun. Like, yeah, the damage fall off is a little worse, but it's like, if you're taking those fights with a Stinger, that's probably not the right way to use it, right? So, I don't know. I think people tend to overreact to stuff and give up on it because they want to try something new.
रुको guys, देखते हैं अपन इसको. टाइम पास कर रहा है वो. अपन कुछ तो देखते हैं तब तक. बंग्स भाई लाइव है. बंग्स भाई
हम सब चाहते हैं कि हमारी
अच्छा सुनो, मुझे आया है केयर पैकेज. क्या दिक्कत तुमको नीचे?
स्ट्रीम चालू क्या है? बोल रहा हूँ. हाँ? अबे प्लेयर नहीं घुसे अंदर अभी तक. साढ़े टाइम पास करा रहे थे ना. 10:30 बज गए हैं. मेरे को लगा 10:30 को चालू करेंगे.
ये कब हुआ चाचा?
हाँ, दिल से.
मैं तो बहुत टाइम से यहाँ पे हूँ. कभी मैंने ये नहीं सुना. क्या कह रहा है ये? इन्वेंटरी खाली है हमारी वाली. बिंग्स बहुत ही ज्यादा खुशफहमी में था अभी. बोला एक टाइम था जब लोग तेरे को भी ओनर समझते थे. मैं कहा ये कब हुआ भाई?
मजाक किया है ना.
मैं तो सच्ची बोल रहा भाई. मतलब मैं बताऊँ गाइस,
बात तो है. अगर इसने
माउस पैड सेट लगा रहे थे
अच्छा ग्रोथ में बहुत अच्छा करके हमारे ग्रोथ के लिए भी बहुत अच्छा कर रहा होता ना.
क्यों बुला देख आता तो बोल देता लैपटॉप रोमन. लगा के देख आएगा 2 मिनट में भाग जाएगा.
आज ये बहुत अलग जगह होता. बहुत अलग जगह होता. अभी भी अलग जगह है. फोटो निकालने की बात कर रहा है. देख कैसे निकल जाएगा. तो वो तो मजाक कर रहा है.
हाँ क्या आइसक्रीम
निकालू कैसे?
मैं अपनी ओनरशिप का पावर यूज करके
हाँ, इसको बाजू वाले केबिन से हटाना चाहता हूँ क्योंकि चीखता जाता है. पूरा फ्रेम कर.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ इसको वॉशरूम इसका बाजू में रख ले. सबसे बेस्ट है वो जो इन्वेंटरी है ना.
कमेंट सेक्शन में बता.
क्या
नेक्स्ट केविन कहाँ बनना चाहिए?
20 रुपया रहेगा 500 का, तो ये तो बोल रहा 20 रुपए। मैं क्या खाऊं सोच रहा हूँ। हाँ तो मैंगो डॉली मंगाए एक चलेगा, नहीं तो फिर मेरे को 25 वाला अमूल का वो आता है मालूम है कप, हाँ वो भी चलेगा मेरे को।
क्या?
हाँ
ये कब हुआ चाचा?
हाँ दिल से।
मैं तो बहुत टाइम से यहाँ पे हूँ, कभी
दिल
मैंने
से-
ये
दिल
नहीं
से
सुना।
मांग।
क्या कह रहा है ये?
इन्वेंटरी खाली है हमारी वाली भी।
ये बिंग्स बहुत ही ज्यादा खुशफहमी में था अभी। बोला एक टाइम था जब लोग तेरे को भी ओनर समझते थे। मैं कहा ये कब हुआ भाई?
मजाक किया है ना।
मैं तो सच्ची बोला भाई एकदम।
मतलब मैं बताऊं गाइस, बात तो है, अगर इसने खुद
हगाई
का
में।
ग्रोथ में बहुत अच्छा करके हमारे ग्रोथ के लिए भी बहुत अच्छा कर रहा होता ना, तो आज ये बहुत अलग जगह होता।
बहुत अलग जगह होता। अभी भी अलग जगह है।
फोटो निकालने की बात कर रहा है ये देख।
कैसे निकल जाएगा तू? वो तो मजाक कर रहा है।
निकालू कैसे? मैं अपनी ओनरशिप का पावर यूज करके
हाँ इसको बाजू वाले केबिन से हटाना चाहता हूँ क्योंकि चीखता जाता है। पूरा फ्रेम कर।
मैं बोल रहा हूँ इसको वॉशरूम इसका बाजू में रख ले, सबसे बेस्ट है वो जो इन्वेंट्री है ना। कमेंट सेक्शन में बताओ रहेगा नेक्स्ट केबिन कहाँ बनना चाहिए पूरे गेमिंग में।
कहाँ बनना है?
इन्वेंटरी में रख दे, आवाज भी नहीं आएगी। इन्वेंट्री रूम भी है, मनोज के बाजू में भी है अपना वो चाहिए तो एक काम
इंस्टॉलर रुक जा रहा।
काम करते हैं,
मस्त हवा है।
छत पे कर देते हैं इसका, बारिश के मौसम में छत पे करते हैं।
हाय गाइस, ये मामा का व्लॉग है मुझे पता है, लेकिन अब मैंने और अंकिता ने गेमिंग हाउस के ऊपर टेक ओवर कर लिया है। मामा यस मामा मामा पानी लाइए, दोनों के लिए लाइए। गुड, यहाँ मॉडल खाना बना रहे हैं। मामा जूस लाइए, जूस लाइए।
हेलो
क्या क्या दिख रहा है ये? मामा रहेगा।
अबे ये चालू ही नहीं कर रहे भाई, 2:30 बजे चालू होता है भाई, लोग आके चालू हो जाता है मैच। कल आज क्या मालूम क्या हो गया है।
रुक देखने दे वीएलआर पे क्या है। वीएलआर पे लाइव दिख रहा है।
मैच चालू हो गया, लाइव नहीं हुआ, प्लेयर्स ही नहीं आए, वॉकिंग
एंट्री 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 हो रही एंट्री हो रही एंट्री हो रही।
क्या बात कर रहे हैं, इसमें नहीं दिखा रहे हैं।
या
अभी आया, अभी आया, अभी आया,
ट्वीट
अभी आया।
ट्वीट ट्वीट ट्वीट
आया,
ट्वीट
ट्विच पे हूं मैं।
हाँ मैं भी
बच्ची डीआरएक्स जीतना मांगता है मेरे लिए, इनको डीआरएक्स जीतने का
भाई पेपर एक्स हार गया बे यार।
भाई कूदा है वे लोग ने,
फीलिंग सैड ब्रो,
बहुत मारा वो लोग ने भाई।
फीलिंग सैड।
याने और वैनिटी ने बहुत मारा उसको।
फीलिंग सैड बे। मेरे को वो जेन को वो सेज क्यों खिला रहे थे भाई? मेरे को वो अच्छा नहीं लगा।
जेंग को आइस बॉक्स पे खिलाया था ना शायद।
नहीं वो पल में खेल रहा था सेज।
क्या बात कर रहा है?
वो क्या यार?
अरे देखो मालूम है ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स का वॉच पार्टी है मुंबई में।
हाँ क्या?
हाँ मैं सोच रहा हूँ जाने का।
जाना भाई, मजा आएगा। जा
अरे
जा
पर सीन क्या मालूम है, फिर आज तक मेरा ट्रेन नहीं मिलेगा आते वक्त, घर पे आते वक्त।
गाड़ी लेके जा।
अबे बैंड्रा बहुत लंबा है यहाँ से, मेरे घर से
कितना?
20-25 किलोमीटर है बैंड्रा यहाँ से।
इतना लंबा थोड़ी ना कहते हैं।
अरे भाई गाँव क्या बोलते देखो, मुंबई का 20 किलोमीटर मतलब बहुत तो है भाई, बैंड्रा मतलब 1 घंटा से जाने के लिए।
मैं यहाँ पे 10 किलोमीटर दूर हर रोज जिम जाता हूँ।
अरे तुम लोग का 10 किलोमीटर का फर्क होता है, वो सीधा रास्ता रहता है, हम लोग का थोड़ा अलग रास्ता रहता है भाई।
हमारा ब्रिज
चेंबर क्रॉस वहाँ की
हमारा पूरा ब्रिज वाला रहता है डायरेक्ट।
इसके लिए तुम लोग फास्ट बोलते हैं।
हाँ 10-15 मिनट में तो खत्म 10 किलोमीटर।
अगर थोड़ा ट्रेन लेट तक रहता, 1:30 बजे तक भी ट्रेन रहता ना, मेरा हो जाता काम।
अच्छा
तो मैं बोला है भाई को कि देखता हूँ जाऊंगा।
हाँ जाओ जरा जल्दी। एक क्या बोलते हैं, मैप देख के आ जाना।
नहीं देखने का तो पूरा देखने का भाई, ऐसे चिल्लाने का रॉसी
तेरे को लेट होगा तो ऐसे ही बात कर रहा हूँ।
नहीं मैं सोच रहा हूँ एक दोस्त को बोलता हूँ, उसका गाड़ी से जाने का सोचते देखते। फुल मन है जाने का, तो भाई जाएगा मैं सब क्रिएटर्स वगैरह भी आने वाले थे मैं सुनने में।
अच्छा
हाँ
आएंगे ना, आएंगे।
आज का जो ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स का ये था ना स्पोर्ट्स वीकेंड में, उसमें बोल रहे थे कि बोला उसने कि एक जगह का नाम ली होटल का, उधर वॉच पार्टी करने वाले। बोला जाता हूँ फिर, वो यूट्यूब पे आएगा ना फिर। अरे
तो पब्लिक को अलाउ है क्या?
क्या बोल रहा है?
पब्लिक, नॉर्मल पब्लिक को अलाउ है वो वॉच पार्टी में?
मतलब समझा, नॉर्मल पब्लिक को समझा नहीं मतलब मेरे को।
मतलब अपन जैसा नॉर्मल पब्लिक को, या फिर वो
हाँ,
कंटेंट
अरे
क्रिएटर को ही बुलाएंगे?
नहीं अरे ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स के यूट्यूब चैनल पे डालना। अगर आप मुंबई में रहते हो तो आपके लिए एक अच्छी न्यूज़ है, हमने फिजिकल होस्ट किया वहाँ पे, आप उधर जा सकते हैं, ऐसा बोला उसने।
अच्छा अच्छा।
हाँ
डीआरएक्स कुछ ना कुछ नया तो लाएगी भाई, क्या बोलता
बंदे
है?
अलग खेलते हुए, वो माँ
हाँ
को
वही
भाई
वही,
बहुत चालू आदमी है भाई।
उन लोग का कोई गेमिंग स्टाइल अलग ही है पूरा।
हर बार
हाँ यूटिलिटी थोड़ा अलग ही रहता है इन लोग का।
मतलब सिनर्जी अच्छा है बंदे में, एकदम सेक्सी
कल
सिनर्जी है।
भाई, कल देखा कि नहीं भाई तूने एनर्जी वाला? ओ भाई
अबे वो छोड़ भाई, लाउड
कमबैक
का
देखा
मैच।
था?
अरे एनर्जी वाला तो देखा रे मैंने, वो पहला मैच फीटर ने बहुत मारा बे, बहुत मतलब भयंकर मारा।
लेकिन वो पहले मैच में जो लास्ट में कमबैक देखा था तूने
हाँ
एनर्जी का? ओ भाई
देखा
वो क्या क्या
13-10 से है ना,
1v2 मार रहे
13-10 से
थे।
है।
हाँ
हाँ देख
1v2 मार रहे थे चल बाद में।
भाई, वो एफएनएस ने क्या क्लच निकाला 1v2 हाइपर अल्ट में, मालूम है,
मैं तेरे को
सी साइड पे।
हाँ मैं तेरे को बहुत पहले वो ये सॉन्ग के वीडियो भेजता था, मालूम है तेरे को?
वो भाई उसके
वो वहाँ
कंटेंट क्रिएटर
भाई,
वो खेल रहा है भाई उधर।
भाई घंटा कंटेंट क्रिएटर वो है, स्पोर्ट प्लेयर है एनर्जी का।
भाई तो वो लोग लिख रहे थे चैट में, डब्ल्यू स्ट्रीमर
हाँ तो
डब्ल्यू।
मतलब वो लाइव स्ट्रीम ज्यादा करता है।
अच्छा मैं
वो
बोला
दिन में
तो,
वो
पर
दिन में है ना।
वो उसका फर्स्ट लाइन है ना सॉन्ग का, ऐसा देखने जाएगा तो।
हाँ लैन मतलब है वो वेलोरेंट का फर्स्ट लाइन है,
हाँ
सीएसगो
तो
में भी खेल चुका
भाई
है लैन।
बंदे ने खेला है मतलब सब मैच
भाई
देखने
बहुत
जाए।
तगड़ा मारता है भाई वो।
अबे तू लाउड का मैच देखा नहीं भाई? भाई
मैं
कुत्ता
देखा
बनाया लाउड
देखा
ने कल
मैंने
भाई,
भाई, वो
भयंकर
तो
कुत्ता
वन
बनाया।
साइडेड हो गया।
वन साइडेड, एकदम वन साइडेड। वो बेचारा
वो
नीवेरा के लिए,
आज
मेरे को ना नीवेरा के लिए बुरा लगा बे।
तो अभी क्या करेंगे?
बहुत मारा बंदे ने, नीवेरा ने बहुत मारा, क्या करेगा बेचारा।
वन साइडेड था वो तो पूरा उन लोग।
स्टेज भी देख ना, फुल सेक्सी स्टेज बांध दिला है।
क्लाउड 9, मेरे को क्लाउड 9 नहीं अच्छी लगती।
मेरे को सिर्फ यहाँ पसंद है इसकी, बाकी सब मेरे को नहीं पसंद क्लाउड।
मेरे को तो यही भी नहीं पसंद आता।
मतलब थोड़ा ठीक है, पर मेरे को दिल से डीआरएक्स जीतना चाहिए।
हाँ वो तो है, वो तो है।
डीआरएक्स पे ना, अगर डीआरएक्स पे लगा, डीआरएक्स किधर गया, रुक जा
तूने यूपी वाली बातचीत सुना है क्या सॉन्ग?
क्या
यूपी वाली बातचीत
मतलब?
सॉन्ग का नाम है।
नहीं भाई नहीं सुना ये।
सुन 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 एक बार।
क्या यूट्यूब पे?
यूट्यूब स्पॉटिफाई कहीं पे भी।
क्या गाना है ये?
हाँ गाना यूपी वाली बातचीत। चलते
सॉन्ग पे ये?
क्या
मतलब समझ, किसके ऊपर है ये?
रैप है।
स्ट्राइक वाइक नहीं बैठेगा ना?
अबे वो नहीं मालूम।
वाटा देख लेंगे, क्या नाम बोला?
यूपी वाली बातचीत।
यूपी वाली देख, स्ट्रीम पे आवाज आता रहेगा।
रुक मेरे को ये
आया नहीं मंजू? हाँ
चलते रे चलते रे भाई लोग आगे लबी कल्टी ले चलते रे चलते रे भाई लोग आगे लबी कल्टी ले चलते रे भाई लोग आगे लबी कल्टी ले हाँ चलते रे भाई लोग आगे लबी चलते रे चलने दे चलते रे रास्तों पे बनते रे हादसों से भौंकता रे भोसड़ी के जलती पे हादसे के हम।
ए भाई हेलो
सोते नहीं रातों में लूजिंग माय सैनिटी एसिड का ट्रिप I'm feeling the grab।
गाली वाली है क्या रे इसमें?
नहीं नॉर्मल है।
अच्छा
नहीं नॉर्मल है
रहते औकात में ambition of a vanity गम की दवा बने डोन टू हैनेसी पहले से गानों में preaching profanity look like a manatee बंदे पर मेहनत lyrics में मिलेगी proper brutality in my locality छोटी mentality भी 32 के बंदे बस कुत्ता बना देंगे ब्रो तो आ कभी चाय पे सुट्टे जला लेंगे तो हाँ चलते रे
हाँ बोल, स्पीकर करो, मम्माला आवाज नाही येणार, स्ट्रीम चालू आहे। डिस्कॉर्ड वर केवर बसलाय, त्याचा आवाज येणार।
But maybe unaware what could be achieved with that wall, but still massive damage done, and this post spawn looking
हाँ जलते रहे भाई लोग
The spike will draw the swing, and Cloud9 wanting that ball right back. This is good so
चालू हो गए थे ये लोग
far.
पहले
It's only down to RB. Not really in a position to do much with this now. Flashed up, diffuse, already halfway
हाँ
through.
जलते रहे
All
भाई लोग
prepared for what DRX were bringing.
And again, how he is able to get away with the second there. Not sure if the
मजा आवाज ना
information is still a little chaotic because there was no contact on
Mike,
site. Obviously, the
हाथ
second
छोड़ता ना
break in elbow falls immediately. Buzz straight away looking to split that pressure, but at this point, I like DRX again here, just Marco completely unaware.
Even by process of elimination coming through from the utility from Zest there, the
stream
point
का
dash
आवाज
in
आ रहा है
coming
मेरा
out from
stream
Buzz, you kind of
तेरे को आवाज आ रहा है
imagine
ना
people are falling
तेरे को
on
आ
the
रहा है
side, it
आवाज
can only be from the back of side.
Interesting to note as well, with this denial of space towards
मतलब
elbow,
headphone
whether or
कालूं
not
बस पड़ना
Cloud9 is
बस
going to force them into this long post plant as opposed to being able to really garner any sort of side
भाई
control.
उधर बैठा उधर
DRX are famed for setting up these crossfires on site, then relying on that raw discipline that they have.
Okay, let's see if that continues. This is a far different setup as well from
Indian rapper,
Cloud9, but that judge did wonders before. And it's actually Leaf to draw first blood. Yeah, this is super shut down. 21 HP. Yes, they do get towards the back of the site, but they've got so many bodies on the way. This is very clean, lovely stuff. Clean sweep, prime gaming floors here. Second round to Cloud9.
Big boom to the economy as well. We heard about Vanity talking about how they're still reliant on these SMGs regardless of nerfs or what else is happening. And yeah, actually decent progress already towards, I think, getting an operator online.
Terrifying.
Come round 4. I mean, what's terrifying is how many collats he was getting away with the other day.
God,
I feel like every other round it was a freebie on top.
Out of all the players, he probably doesn't
C9,
need the extra.
yeah,
you know, like
he'll get a second regardless.
He'll get you it. Just relax.
Fast चला गया इतना.
But now for DRX, the work's going to be cut out. We need to see them to kind of bite back a little bit here. It's been quite clean so far from Cloud9. Should be decent enough info off the knife. Probably minimum 2, potentially 3. And work being made across the map now. We've had contact towards A-Long and a little bit of
DRX probably anticipating some aggression somewhere to try and convert these SMGs. I was going to say if Zelta's actually going to progress any further forward, but
वो देखो ना
Spike
स्ट्रीम
not
और
committed
निवेला
just
अगर
yet.
पैसिफिक का नाइफ वापर रहे थे
Probe
बहुत
sent
जने
out towards B-long.
ब्लू नाइफ वापर रहे
Marco will deal with the turret. Try and pull this defensive setup.
यो
of
मेरे को
C9
river
a
operator आई है
little
नाइट
tighter
मार्केट
towards double doors.
Yeah. And wherever Leaf is, that's where my eyes are going to. Again, the only one with the rifle in this round for Cloud9, the rest sticking on what they had prior. Obviously, the economy in a really good spot for them, so not a bad plan to try and bolster him up. And DRX
अबे
still
लर्क
no
क्या करता है
subtlety to this. They haven't pulled the plug on the
लर्क
floor
क्या करेगा जो
rotationally.
बटाई में
Still
तो
see
लर्क
Zelsis on the
देखो
other side
पागल
of
हो
the map.
जाएगा
Yes, they're pulling Zephyr across, but the site hits coming in. The flash trying
पूरा
to set
साइड
a pass potentially.
पूरा
out.
पब्लिक
That's
ये पे
focused
बैठा है
Vanity
ये
at the
पीछे
back of the
स्टार
site.
डाल के बी
Nothing
वॉकिंग
is
करेगा
clearing back of the site right now in elbow. And
इतना चालू
Cloud9
है
are loving this. They've got the player that we need in the right place. That's Leaf. Zephyr still doing damage. Vanity still holding ground, still holding territory. The spike is dropped just on the other side. So DRX need to fight for it back, and still there is a 2v1 here.
He's got the spike though.
Oh
He's actually managed to
how?
pick it up. RB in the
20
fray.
seconds.
He's got to start running now if he wants to try and get this down.
अबे
Yeah, he's going to try and fake it here. 10 seconds.
I don't know if he's got
think it's
time.
enough.
10 now. This is going to be so close. 7.
I think he's got it.
He might just be there, just about. Tries to maybe just
Pull
press
करेगा
the
वो.
corner deeper from Secret.
Missed the
Does
pull
he-
as
Does
well.
he actually get away? And you're right, the pull didn't quite connect. And
Ah,
Zelsis is
थोड़ी वाला
there.
यार पहला यार
RB couldn't quite stabilize. And that's a third now for Cloud9.
We are seeing a very different approach here, though. C9 playing very receptive, forcing DRX to go exploring on sites. And again, that flash play in towards B Halls and completely shut down by the judge. That's something I do want to keep my eye on, which was very, very evident the other day. Obviously, these early rounds, if they're completely free for C9, Zelsis was just farming, literally farming them. So with DRX's kind of slow, progressive default, they've got to make sure that that's kept in check. Vanity already feeling itself down on the stage, and rightfully so. DRX not an awful lot to write home about in these first 3 rounds.
No, and they're going to have to suffer through that
energy,
burden here
we're
as
gonna
well.
crash
They've got
this
the share of some friends. Easy ult from RB, but that's not going to really change the
crashes
outcome
by.
at this point.
OP
Maybe a fact-finding round or something
बंदा
of the such, because so
कभी
far,
भी देखना क्लच निकालने में
Cloud9
मतलब
looking
अच्छा
all
है
too equipped. What's coming their way? A little bit of a
Swamp
contest
का भी है।
towards middle. Buzz and Zest.
बायोस ओ सॉम
Taking
ने
a wander.
Not sure if
कल
that shot
कल
got
का
actually
मैच
dealt with
देखा
the
था ना
alarm
वो
bot and the
बंदे ने
nanoSwarm
ना
there.
येलो बॉक्स पे
Leaf's
चार
been pretty good at
चार
pulling
बंदे को मारा चार
alarm
बंदे एक
bot
की
off.
जगह होल्ड करके
Well, shot
मतलब
dart's
है
heard, but
आ रहा टाइप दे रहा आ रहा है 1 टाइम आ रहा है 1 टाइम
Desperate to try and deal with this turret again, pull the rotation of C9, but no real pressure towards either side just yet.
And I'm liking the discipline I'm seeing from Cloud9 because we saw them kind of, I guess, meet fire with fire when you look at the VaporX game, and now we're seeing a very disciplined side, which, if anything, if it continues this way, right, let's assume they can match teams on their playstyle. How terrifying is that for the other teams deeper in the tournament if they get past this game, of course. For now, still just dealing with that blender in middle, but no one overstepping, no one over-peaking, no one overreaching their spot, still holding. Making DRX really have to work for their dinner here. There's no easy approach. There's 3 players now ready for this crunch. Lovely shot from Zest, but an instantaneous trade, and everything's still favorable towards Cloud9.
Guardian se. Bhayankar spam mar raha tha.
The hot hands off, but again, just it's that discipline on display here. Nobody really trying to brawl with it. Actually, Lockdown invested the runner back as well.
Yep.
I want to make sure that
lovely.
They absolutely convert this round, and it's looking as if it's going to be just RB left to find. Zelsis will seal the deal with a third.
And again, for me, Mike, it's just the night and day difference here.
I just come back to the same thing once again. You look at this round, look how deep DRX have to creep to even find contact on some of these points.
I mean, they were half committed towards R. If they even wanted to clear B link, they would have to have swung double doors so deep. This is actually really quite curious to watch. I didn't expect this, and it's actually being constructed incredibly well by Cloud9, which is the better part of it, because they're meeting DRX at their own game, and I think this has stumped DRX a little bit here.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see a DRX timeout called actually very early on. An important buy round coming up, just about touching on some of these ultimates as well. Cosmic Divide available for RB. I said that the solution feels like, obviously, I mean, talking about Zelsis farming orbs and getting this early map control, it feels like DRX do need to shift it up a gear a little bit. Maybe actually rely on a set piece and execute towards the side.
They certainly haven't. They're one of the teams famed for it.
I mean, I'm absolutely with Tom. I still sit in the park of DRX are probably one of the best set piece teams that we have or have had.
Hands down. I'd love to see them try and explore that option. And the one beauty of this game as well, in my mind, we've had a couple of teams still in that very much rebuilding phase, new roster changes, you know, very different lineups. We know when we look at DRX, and I can probably feel the same about Cloud9 after seeing this, they do have depth, they do have that ability to adjust. I just want to see what DRX do with this, because you started by talking about Cloud9 in their opening game, but again, the same sort of scrutiny can be put towards DRX, because they passed with flying colours in their initial matchup. So
they rolled BBL 13-3, so and again, that was actually a very convincing attacking half. I think they closed it out 9-3, and even the 3 that BBL scraped together, it wasn't convincing.
No, it wasn't. So this could be quite telling for the bigger picture here. No connection off the knife, I believe, sitting a little bit deeper at that start. It does allow and warrant a little bit of a further exploration from RB. So maybe building off initial utility, but look at this response over towards B long. There's already a switch up here from Cloud9.
This is with that deeper default here. Marco's going to be tested. Pass the first. Actually, we'll get the second as well. Ye will fall, so an early advantage here for DRX. You can see Leaf and Zeppa scrambling a rotation towards B, but it's only Marco spotted on the other side of this. So DRX have the perfect read on what's just happened. They know it's going to draw the rotation. Have a favorable engagement towards Vanity here. Currently positioned toward dugout. No utility set up just yet.
सीन क्या है मैं अगर तू देख 3B खेला फास्ट साउंड दिया और स्पाइक लेके ए पे बैठा ना लोग रोटेशन देते फास्ट मान में अपन ऐसा कर सकते हैं मतलब कोई
And they haven't been. It's a mistake made and an opportunity garnered from Vanity. Desperate timing on the rotation. The flash didn't quite swing the corner, so didn't catch Stacks. Wasn't able to do so. Marco. Timing could be good on this as well. And Cloud9 struggling on numbers. Just the 2 remaining, Zeppa and Leaf. And Marco feels like the inevitable. A couple more steps and vulnerability shown. Yeah, lovely from Marco. And now Leaf unable to find much either. Super deep positioning from Zest here. Yeah, Leaf doesn't have the time to go through that motion. And now he's got problems.
Yeah, the rest of DRX playing this perfectly, knowing that Marco's going to find value there. Stacks to seal the deal. DRX will convert with 4 standing as well. Some ultimates coming online. Didn't really require a massive investment on their part. Still, it almost felt like an initial lazy clearance on site here. Vanity still getting 1. Doesn't end up affecting the round too much. Talking about minimizing mistakes in some of these interviews, and that's DRX's main focus. That's what I've got my eye on. That's where, in my eyes, you want to see things like that absolutely cleaned up.
See what we have now. Again, Cloud9 did turn up the tempo a little bit there, did explore a touch further on these extremities, and maybe considering that again, but it looks like Art will at least be the first port of call for Cloud9. Yay. Posted up just towards middle, waiting to see if anyone comes through, but we know that DRX will play a patient game. Now, information spotted. They will be forced away from this. So DRX going through the checklist here.
I'm not even sure off the drone, actually. Flash will clear through mid.
timer.
Now, Marco did try and fake this with the smoke, but there was nobody even peeking B long for info. Zeppa going to clear through as well.
I think Vanity's seen a fair amount here. Yeah, there we go. And they're already at the doorstep, so this is going to be the just guns in hand. Vanity's position should be very much at the forefront of their minds here, but he does get one on the swing, does find stacks. And now we look at the rest. The site's pretty much under control. The res going to be the first port of call, and then the plant second. 40 seconds on the board, plenty of time to play with, and the divide in place.
Viper's bit available as well, but a lot of investment already in this. And Leap shuts him down.
Huge work. Cloud9 bursting onto the scene. And the shot from Ye is divine. And that is unbelievable work from Cloud9 there on this retake. Mike, it felt like the tempo was just switched up. They hit the perfect timing throw on the flash.
I mean, I'm curious. The investment of the Cosmic Divide doesn't necessarily stop them at the front door. There's space for Cloud9 to play behind. That's why I was curious about the Viper's bit. Should come through as the plant is going down, but unfortunately, it's Marco committing to the plant.
Yeah.
So again, it's just caught in no man's land here. I mean, you got to question the placement of where he's trying to put that down. Cut off a choke point. It's a very safe Viper's bit to just maintain control of the spike.
That's a really nice retake. And mistakes from DRX.
Fantastic retake, yeah, but the post plant just feels so off from DRX.
A little shaken, maybe. I don't know. It did not feel secure by any means.
That's right. Marco coming through and getting the res onto stacks as well. Yeah. He's got so much to worry about with that Viper's bit available.
No solutions truly made here for DRX. Yes, they've posted a roundup, but not quite enough yet. Buzz going to be investing the knives this round. Everyone else still able to fashion a purchase. No sweat on the other side. Could start building that money back up here. Look how deep they're sitting. I've got to note it towards A.
Another round, yeah.
They're reading this tempo incredibly well.
You hear the Blade Storm pop, you know that they're going to go exploring for this opening engagement. Cloud9 once again rinse and repeat. Look how deep Zeppa's using the Trailblazer from.
That's huge. Big info, and they're now going to be forced to fight, trying to dive in. Buzz! I thought he got his head just jammed against the wall, but he actually makes it out alive. And Buzz still fighting the fight here for them. 2 big kills. And patrolling down by Pit. And that deep hold gets broken, isolating the one towards dugout. I believe this is tricky. Buzz deciding time to back away as the ult fades. It's a free pick though, no trade. Gonna need one more of those at the very least to even make something out of this round, considering how far away he is. He's more concerned about keeping that operator at a hand, and Leaf is making a damn good go of this round. Tap on the spike, gonna pull the utility. Again, he's costing them money here. This is not a bad round at all for them. Making the best of a bad scenario, and Ye will want to keep this operator in play. So that will stay where it's at. But talk to me about this round, because it feels like we just had Buzz basically being the difference maker.
There was no hesitation this time. Again, DRX are exploring the map. They know that nobody's holding close contact on Art. I think Atsi on the back of the Trailblazer. This is the one where almost the penny drops. Yeah, they're playing super deep here, guys. We have to push this default forwards a little bit, and they're rewarded for it. Really nice pace change from DRX. Yeah, whether or not actually C9, whether or not the Blade Storm is the difference maker here. If that's the indication of some aggression on the side of DRX, whether or not C9 now will revert back to maybe getting a little more aggressive. But yeah, on that operator, maybe not.
No. Yeah.
Again, he's not saying he's not going to be the one
No,
to go aggressive in the early round.
No, I'm looking at Zelsis potentially or some of the such to maybe try and get in their faces, which we saw before. It was that lazy clear up towards what? I guess like quite a preemptive timeout from Cloud9. I still feel like they could have run this, but maybe feeling it they'd rather be preventative, make sure they've dealt with what DRX have changed up, but
I think
also
purely,
the money's in a tricky spot.
Yeah, purely because that round is indicative of DRX almost getting a better grasp of what C9 are doing.
Yeah, it is relatively telling. They've had basically no resistance throughout. They've gone that far. You hear how deep that dog's come from. So that was almost back by Spawn. So, let's see if...
Well, stark contrast as well, because think about the previous. It's Zeppa and Ye posted up very deep. The drone spots it, and they drift back into this deep setup. So, DRX are looking for these early round indicators. Like I said, it's the first time we've seen a confident response on the back of it. Zelsis has barely been challenged here, though, towards A main.
No,
this time cautious of the, maybe on the back of the flash of going for the orb. He is one off the ultimate.
That flash was so high, though, that could have been anywhere, and we have seen that kind of lurk coming through from, I think it was RB. Yeah, so, you know, maybe tempering him enough, but it looks like DRX have found at least the approach that they want here, which is going to be trying to explore through art. But Ye, willing to fill that void almost instantly.
कल वाला यही मैच था इधर जो खड़ा ना अभी यहाँ खड़ा है very कल वाला मैच था
DRX a lot further ahead, I'd say, on the rotation game than Cloud9, who will have to respond in kind, dealing with any pressure that could have been left around art. They have not necessarily a free B site, but near on too. Vanity left on, Buzz on site. They know they need to clear back as well.
Actually, going to have to slip the net.
Beautiful, beautiful. Right call as well, I'd say. Did only have that stinger, so he wasn't going to be able to take down the entirety of DRX, but could prove more potent on the play back in.
Fantastic for this retake on B side previously. So a couple of slip-ups to see if DRX can tighten things up now.
This is nice so far. These angles are gorgeous. Zest. Free access, almost Celsius. What? Pops the O, and he needs to get running as well. Somehow it's gone to this point, making a 2v1. How have we gone here again? Celsius, inhuman performance. Coming light in this round. The fuse comes in. It is perfection personified. Cloud9 on these retakes are unreal.
This is another one. You see the plant location here, and you think DRX are going to post up. They're going to literally revert into what works best for them.
The crossfires looked really nice. They were solid.
They looked great. They did not hold for more than a second. Just instantly ripped apart. And again, the molly here behind Pillar, reading it perfectly. I mean, I'm getting very concerned now. DRX need to actually lean back onto something that doesn't necessarily feel comfortable for them, which is literally getting away with opening engagements. Finding that numbers advantage early on.
God, it's terrifying
because their plus one is not working.
Yeah, one of their key pillars of strength isn't there for them right now, but then it feels like you're almost playing into Cloud9's game if you then try and adjust to that slightly more brawly style.
They're going to get the same engagements that DRX will get.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad. Those stacks starting out comfortably towards Ye, walks away barely scathed as well. So that's a beginning they not really had to play with so far.
Celsius once again unchallenged. So deep control towards A main here.
No flash for Zeppa either.
I think he should just be getting one off. Yeah, he's got one off cooldown now, so we'll be able to flash here for Celsius. This could be deadly, Lauren.
Yeah. Celsius has so much to play with once you feel it here. The flash is incredible! But he gets dealt with! Only finds one, but he finds all of the other side. Apart from one player, Marco, who is not around this side of the map. If they try and double pump at this point, who knows, it's 40 seconds. Zeppa on the way into the ult popped as well. KJ's ult is ticking down. Zeppa is the god who will not be moved. Holds him at the front door. Spike now lost. And this lurk is a million miles away. Marco needs to find some insane impact here to alleviate that pressure that's on Zest. And Leaf's already on duty. 18 HP is all that remains on Zeppa, but he's just standing tall. How long can he last in this position? The smoke goes up. The flash! He's just overwhelming, but he's buying time. 10 seconds. They haven't cleared Pit. They haven't cleared Secret. But the tap on the spike and Leaf is close. Bye! Perfect play from Cloud9. Marco could do nothing now. It's all a matter of time. And all Vanity has to do is stay alive. Ooh, insult to injury almost there, but it's a 7th for Cloud9. What a round again.
It's just insane the amount of support that Vanity's able to supply in that situation as well. I mean, we've been talking about it. Zelsa's going unchallenged here. I mean, it's unlucky not to get another couple of kills here, to be honest with
that
you.
first throw just a little off, but you're right, that could have been 2, 3 potentially.
Again, the contact comes so deep that actually Leaf makes this rotation all the way across, and he's able to get the lockdown before DRX have even crested onto site. They haven't even got off stairs yet.
This is a really nice team to watch. I'm going to be honest, I very much had DRX in this matchup. I put a lot of credence in. Consistency. Let's get the heal off and we'll be able to fall away from this. Only Stacks with a rifle here, so he's your hero plate. Danger man, you may argue. And 2 players suppressed. So already realizing that Zelsys has made it on this site very quickly.
Oh, he's 4 with Cloud9 here. Obviously noting the Killjoy utility as well, effectively a 3rd on top of the knife. It's going to take DRX a while though to re-explore mid. Still got that alarm bot to deal with.
Double control.
Just outside Link.
Oh, the flash I think actually pinged on long, so they might hold this for a little bit longer. I think it was just on RB.
Yeah, I think DRX have cut sound and just waiting for an opening. Vanity's actually given up the angle here. The Seekers won't tell them just yet, but Vanity might have spotted.
Yeah, he's definitely heard the steps now. They're going to try and quicken the pace, but catching one in the heels. That wasn't the spike though, so that keeps in play. Chipping away the defensive side. I like what Stacks is doing, trying to be the one to make some sort of damage happen, because they've got to get a body on the floor, and it ain't going to happen. Deleted by Ye. And now a 5v3, and these weapons are not ideal. What year is it? Rolling it back, says desperate. Tries to fly in. And finds nothing but force, so now RB left in a 1v4. Fuse already beginning. The slow orb. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Cloud9, gotta say, Mike, I am thoroughly impressed.
I mean, it's just, we have the one that's expired due to the clock. I feel like we've had, what, 6 successful retakes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very concerning for DRX's attacking half, which is usually where they excel. And you think back to that round where you think, yeah, they've managed to grasp exactly what C9 are trying to achieve, but there's been very little response after that.
No, there's not been much progress of the information found. We do see Buzz back on the Bladestorm, though, so hopefully that does find some value here if he wants to invest it. Flash finds nothing, so there should be the go signal for Zelsys to start building.
Yeah, he's going to post up there now with an operator.
And there it is. There's the flash to alert the mid, maybe, where the vast majority.
And now the problems start to show with DRX playing this slow. C9 are playing a different early round every single round.
Really hard to pin down.
Yeah, so they don't have anything tangible to go off. They have no real knowledge.
Timing's great.
Zephyr caught it, yeah.
Quite safe as well, but he actually double dips on it, finds Marco. Stacks barely makes it out alive. But this is 4 players on an A-side lean, leaving all that faith and defensive capability to Leaf on the other side by B, and it's mostly the utility setup. But again, we know that DRX are not quick on these executes. They will take their time. They will be trying to be methodical in approach, and it allows for these rotations to come in.
Fast.
So it was a free B site at least.
First time we see a lurk from Stacks.
Hasn't mattered too much, C9 have been phenomenal on these retakes.
Now the timing's going to be a little offset here because you've got Ye a mile away, and that mid play still coming back
Still an alarm bot there.
Yeah, okay. And now there should be the warning. Right, they know there's a lurk in play. That's going to be now noted. Quick turn from Leaf, and actually the damage achieved. The flash is fantastic for Stacks. Has another. Invest, and there's the trade. So now we look at what's remaining. The 3 players make it just 2. Buzz and RB getting demolished by Zephyr. 24 HP and a dream, and it ain't gonna come true today. RB still trying to hold on, but Ye's positioning not considered, but the time is on DRX's side.
Again though, as good as a successful retake, Zephyr is absolutely insane. One of the players that I wanted to see repeat that performance. It's just ridiculous. DRX come into this, maybe for utility, but he's just absolutely insane.
The
only reason they lose that is because of the lineup.
Yeah, pretty much.
मेरे को ना ये zero recoil रखती है सब
Yeah,
Phantom
he's
में
so
ये Phantom को
cautious
अलग ही
of once
लगती है, क्या
again
मालूम?
DRX relying on that
भाई इन पे बाई नहीं
deep
है
hold in the
Vanity
post
इतना
part.
गरीब होगा सब इतना 8 राउंड निकल के भी
Okay.
Last time with the Blade Storm, we did see C9 literally sit in spawn, forcing DRX to shift walk the entire map.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if they actually go for this, because they're still sitting posted up on the Zelsis is going to pop the ult at just the right time. And it's just incredible work from Zelsis. Oh, and Zephyr as well. It's a blender. And DRX is just left strewn across the floor. There's nothing left of them, just Marco. The Cloud9 wall will not be moved. It's just unreal performance. Mike, I'm sold on the Cloud9 roster. I thought this would be DRX bringing a much closer game here.
Absolutely, I came into this looking at C9. They've set the bar very, very high in that opening series versus Paper X, but I mean, most of my questions have been answered already.
It's just the fact that they've been so adjustable here, a brilliant approach to playing against DRX. They were not caught out, they were not too headstrong to adjust. This has been really eye-opening for us here, and well, I wonder if it's the same for the desk. Let's hear what they have to say.
Indeed it is. One thing that is very apparent here is that Coach MCE's prep work with the C9 roster leading in this one, Mimi, has been nothing short of exquisite.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Coming into this match, we were talking a lot about DRX and how good their hits are on this map, but the prep work from C9 utterly shut them down. Let's take a look at the pistol round here, where Ye instantly puts his wall up, back calls, and DRX try that same shock, dart, flash, all coming in at once, but the wall blocks that flash, so Buzz pretty much dies for nothing. Ye gets a second kill, and then C9 come through with a fantastic retake. Now another round, a little later on, similar idea. This time Buzz doesn't want to go back all the time, but still, C9 has a player back there. Vanity is holding, gets a kill, and buys time for his teammates to flash out of the smoke and win in the retake. Cloud9 was fantastic at the retake and the preparation throughout this half.
See, and that's where I almost want to now try and take this forward a little bit and look at Zelsis, because going into the attack last time, their B-side execution was different. They would have a deep flash coming out from Zephyr, and then a close flash if they made contact from him. So we've witnessed one team adapt to how they played before and fix their defensive setup. Now I want to take a look at whether or not DRX can adapt to what is there on the other side from Cloud9. Have they made those same defensive changes to fix and bring this back in the second half, or is it still going to be a strong attack coming through from C9?
Yeah, this has been an absolutely gorgeous game to watch. I mean, top to bottom, I don't think anyone could have asked for something better than this. And DRX, if there's one team that's going to find these solutions, find these answers, Mimi, it is going to be DRX. They have the capability to do this.
But it's going to be difficult. 9-3, they have to start strong with this pistol.
Cuss!
Exactly. Let's go Cuss!
That's right. We're just hoping for some curses to come into effect if you're a DRX fan. But for now, though, let's send it back over to your board-certified casters. It's Pansy and IPOC.
And I guess they are right in the sentiment that DRX are a team capable of these adjustments, but I'm not seeing it in the server right now.
Not this DRX. This is, we very rarely see them play this sloppy, make as many mistakes as they have done, and unfortunately, there's a very, very small margin for error now. With this scoreline, it's so difficult to formulate some sort of comeback, and obviously, pistol, round 2, that's where it starts for me, but initially not convinced by that first half performance that DRX are going to be able to bring this back.
No, I'm absolutely in unison with you, because you're seeing 3, I'd say, of Cloud9 really stepping up, and one of them isn't even Ye. He doesn't need to be activated. He's been fine. He's played his role. He's been in the right place when needed, but it has been everyone else, and again, that's a horrifying prospect for any team against them, that they just have Ye on, you know, a cool 8 to 5. He's fine. He doesn't need to be activated yet, but still, let's see what this attacking side can actually bring. Pretty early work towards B long, and the spike now going to be joining the other 2.
This on the wall there for Zelsis. Yeah, his wall though will block off towards connector here. Leaf actually will put down a. That's what hasn't popped it just yet. Marco will get the kill, just ahead of that.
Very fine couple of seconds difference here, but there's already a pivot coming out from Cloud9. It looks like re-exploring either through middle.
They're going to jump on
look
the wall.
At DRX. Yeah, they are.
DRX aren't going to. Oh, maybe actually with.
There's already a ping.
Zest, yeah, Zest slipping back towards Sewer. Stacks is there as well.
Yeah,
actually, 3 members of DRX this side.
Yeah, we're seeing not necessarily a mirrored approach, but super deep. And Zelsis needs to sell them the perfect fake. Yeah, it's fine. Just clip off half of that, and it looks real nice. Buzz Let's get Zelsys, and here's that diligence I wanted to see. Yeah, deep clearing, lovely work from Zepp. And that's a stark difference and a stark contrast from that first half we saw coming out from DRX, who almost fell foul to that. And now, even with all that consideration, we are in a 3v3 post plant now, and it's tricky to move these players out of these positions.
Vanity trying to set something up. We create a little pocket for Leaf to play in, yeah, and he will do.
Much nicer. Leaf got a little bit more room to work now. Just a tap on the spike. Timing. Oh my god!
Gets a second.
What? Zest! Turns in time. Marco pulled off from the diffuser. Now it's the swing from 710 HP, and now the other side. Wait, Marco got Vanity. The 1v1, but it ain't halfway, and the swings there. Cloud9 refused to lose. Double digits instantly in the second half now.
The problem being, again, though, look at this setup on A site. It's not like DRX at all. RB has no safety net whatsoever. He's almost caught in astral form there, but there's no crossfire setup. There's 3 members of DRX that did this 15, 20 seconds ahead of this site here coming through. There was 3 members of DRX on this side of the map, and they still weren't ready.
Worrying times for DRX now.
Zeppa's just running through with a frenzy. It's like dry swinging into dugout. It's 2 with a frenzy.
Yep.
It's such a difference in confidence that we're seeing on display here.
Oh no, Cloud9 are, as in name, as in nature right now, absolutely loving what they're doing. And DRX made to look bad at their own game, which is crazy to me. Stacks a quiet performance so far, 5-12, certainly not what he wanted, but we'll get big information here, but remember what they're working with. Sheriff's in a classic.
I doubt Cloud9 are going to respect the fact that 3 of them got pinged.
No, they could not care less. They go through the motions, fully aware they have more than likely superior weaponry here. The rifle even for Zelsys as well. So, Marco, not bad. And there's the response though. So shut down pretty quickly. Anyone else to cause threat? No, it doesn't look like it, so the plant should be coming in. Vanity could get chipped away at here though. Anyone else able to make much of it? That's a shot, Marco! Some heat-seeking shots out of that Sheriff, but 2v3 still tricky. Zelsys alive, and that angle is rotten to play against.
It's almost a one-way under Ye's wall there towards main. Dirty stuff from Cloud9.
Oh, Marco. There's not much really to do here. Making a valiant effort for sure. But Vanity with a round, and Cloud9 with 11.
So they have one opportunity to stop the inevitable here. DRX 2 away from the Vipers bit, but that's the only thing. Even RB bringing a Bulldog into this.
Yep.
A couple of members from Cloud9 forcing up, at least Leaf and Zelsys down to 500 and 100 respectively, but I mean, with the way this is going, can't really fault them.
No, let them play right now, and it looks quite all in. Flash finds nothing early, so that should allow them safe passage, at least towards the main.
And just look at the difference in space denial immediately from Cloud9. It's such a contrast from DRX's attacking half.
RB has to back from
Look at the utility.
It's all encompassing. Stacks either has to commit towards standing in the most awkward position on stairs. Zelsys all too aware of it, and then force them away. RB only has one place to play on towards side, and that's so quickly checked. Stacks tries to make a play through the wall, but still gets found pretty quickly. Cloud9 just in absolute motion right now, and Buzz, irrelevant to outcome here, flashed off, forced away, plant coming in. You got Ye a mile above you, and Cloud9 make it to 12.
The layers of utility and that execute are just so overwhelming for DRX. Again, the slow orbs coming through, the gravity well at the start. Again, just noting the space denial on the side of Cloud9. DRX respect it, they try and play deep, but then there's 2 flashes that come through to the absolute perfection from Zeppa. Stacks is desperate to try and support outside this Cosmic Divide, but eats that flash.
And it's no man's land, right? There's Cloud9 are hyper aware of the only places available. You've got Pit, which
they literally run it down to RB and dugout.
They know it's the only place you can really play, or if Stacks is downstairs, right? And you've already cleared that. So again, Cloud9 very well-constructed rounds, putting on a beautiful display here. Glad it wasn't just that flash in the pan in the first. This is commanding, considering we saw DRX put up numbers like this in their opening game on this map. So the difference is huge. And at this point, you certainly can't compete if you don't compare with these two teams. It's just night and day.
सब लोग ने Vandal भाई के
And we look at what's the approach this time. Cloud9 giving us a different look here. Over towards that B site. Very much all in though.
Derek's already got bodies towards the side to try and stop this. Looks like it might be Zelsis to lead the charge here. The Seekers behind it as well.
Okay, does get sent away. Not so free this time. Buzz and Marco making a go at this one. Much better crossfires being held, but there's still life in them yet. Vanity's still alive, Leaf's still alive, and Zels is still alive. And Stacks and RB now sweating bullets, because they've got the ult ticking down, 10 seconds to make something happen. And Leaf is saying no. They want this map done. They want out of here. RB, last chance to dance in this. 20 seconds. And look at the positioning from Zelsis. Won't even be able to get towards site at this point. RB's options starting to dwindle now with the second start to pass, and there it is, Zelsis to claim the 13th, but Cloud9 looking a cut above the rest.
What a phenomenal performance from Cloud9 here. Again, uncharacteristic from the side of DRX, looking flustered in so many of those rounds, unable to find a response.
Straight off the stage too.
Look, I mean, looking for a game plan at the start of it as well. We just, Marco made some of these interesting, but yeah, that's really demoralizing.
That's a heartbreak when you get.
क्या है लोग क्या होगा? कुठे इथे? भाई साप केला आता आज तर मच्छर नाही असलं पाहिजे. प्रिंटर पण खाली फेकला सर्व काहीच नाही कचरा एक पण साफ केला आज पूर्ण 1 तास बसून. काय माजून येते तर मी काय नाही करू शकत मला.
काय नाही करू शकत.
अबे भयंकर मच्छर भर गया है भाई मुंबई में.
We were at
हिमांशू कुठे गेला? हा? झोपायला तिकडे.
हाँ जलते रहे जलते रहे जलते रहे जलते रहे भाई जलते रहे जलते रहे जलते रहे जलते रहे.
सैवी किधर है? शादीशुदा आदमी किधर है?
कल ही आया था, कल ही खेले हम लोग.
मैं 2 दिन से खेला नहीं वैलोरेंट.
मम्मी पानी अब जा नहीं. मैं बहुत दिनों बाद कल ही खेला.
मैं खेला था बीच में, मैं 1-2 दिन नहीं खेला.
3 खेले 2 जीते 1 हारे.
क्या है रैंक है? प्लेट 2.
हाँ
मेरा भी वही है प्लेट 2. बीच में चला गया था प्लेट 1, फिर से किया मतलब उस दिन 100 किल चैलेंज किया ना, उस दिन जीता मस्त तब.
चलते रहे
देखो ना बीच में ना लगातार 2-3 लड़कियां बहुत आई मालूम है तेरे को वैलोरेंट में. सोलो क्यों कर रहा था ना, लड़कियां आ रही थी भाई.
हाँ
सॉरी.
हाँ जलते रहे बाहेर लगाय मुझे चलते रहे.
मी चार्जर पण आणला माझा. कुठे ठेवून आला? 1 मिनिट रुक आया मैं क्योर.
ओके we were at think मजा उससे. All right, brother. All right, all right. Ride my homie. Ride with my homie. मैं तो नहीं कहूँ जो Ride with my homie. हे भाई तू એટલે તો તારે બે મેં મંગાયું પૂજા નહીં કરવાની 12 વાગે આપને નહીં કરવાની કેમ અહીંયા કરવાના તને हाँ चलते रहे चलते रहे चलते रहे चलते रहे भाई हैं हूँ अब ये तो बात करे लोग बची खबर पड़ा यार तेरे बिना मैं जीऊं बेसाल देख तेरी आदत मैंने कर ली रजा
मेरे को टूनिल लग रहा है बे क्योर
क्या
टूनिल लग रहा है मेरे को
DRX से हेवन अच्छा है बे मैंने बहुत पहले से देखा है DRX से हेवन खेलते हैं ब्रिज के ब्रिज वाला मेटा कौन लाया तेरे को मालूम है DRX लाई है
टीम आइडल ने स्टोरी डाला है टीम आइडल के इंस्टा पेज ने कोई तो
इंस्टा पे डाला
हां टीम आइडल के इंस्टा स्टोरी पे डाला है कोई तो चेयर पे बंदा बैठा है कौन है सीनेटा से बोनकोल्ड कौन है वो कोई तो एक प्लेयर है वो चेयर पे घूम रहा है और उसने लिखा @ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स को टैग किया हेलो रेडी ऐसा लिखा है
वाइटलिटी इंडिया पे
टीम वाइटलिटी देख ना उनका ऑफिशियल पेज है इंस्टाग्राम पे टीम वाइटलिटी उसका स्टोरी देख
अच्छा देखा देखा
वो लोग देखो ये लोग चैंपियंस प्लेयर है मानो देखो टाइटल जीता ले
कौन
ये बोन कोल्ड सीनेटर वगैरह
मालूम है मेरे को
एसेंट से खेले थे ना
हाँ
क्या लगता है फिर टक्कर देगा एरिन बाबू
अभी अपने प्लेयर का वही है फ्लो चल गया तो फिर मारेंगे
भाई आयरन और टेक्सचर तो खेलते देखा है दोनों का प्ले हाँ कौन है आईजीएल वो
हाँ चलते रे पायल जाते मेरी गलती रे
इन गेम नेम क्या उसका बोन कोल्ड ना वही तो बोला था
महाशिवरात्रि
बांग पिया कि नहीं फिर हालांकि क्यों
हाँ
बांग पिया कि नहीं माशे
ना बांग ने पिया
नहीं पिया
नहीं सोल सिटी में जाना है क्या
पैसा है ना कि फ्री एंट्री है
अभी पहले जो व्हाइट लिस्ट वाला फॉर्म भरने के लिए 1000 है
व्हाइट लिस्ट मतलब क्या होता है
मतलब तेरे को थोड़ा व्हाइट लिस्ट होना नहीं कहाँ है मतलब व्हाइट लिस्ट होगा तो तू खेल पाएगा कंफर्म
और दूसरा
मतलब व्हाइट लिस्ट मतलब तेरे को वो लोग है ना वो एक फॉर्म देते हैं उसमें आरपी के थोड़े क्वेश्चन रहता है तो वो तेरे को आंसर देना है सिर्फ ऐसा
मेरे को कुछ आरपी का पता ही नहीं है
मेरे को सब मालूम है
मैं मतलब देखता हूँ पर कम देखता हूँ ऐसा गेम वो
हम लोग जाएंगे ना धमाल मचाएंगे डुओ बना के सोल सिटी का डुओ
देखा मैंने रोल प्ले लोग करते हैं डुओ मेरे को इतना ज्यादा समझता नहीं है इतना पता कि इन रियलिस्टिक है इतना ना वो गेम
हाँ रियल वाला ही है पूरा रियल है
वो देखा मैंने देखना बेंचो डब्ल्यू किया है रे पूरा जेफा ने सब जगह W दबाया है।
मालूम भाई वो फ्रेंजी लेके भाई ये देखना अभी क्या करेगा उसमें ये सामने वाले भी लेकिन ये पहले राउंड में फ्रेंजी बहुत ओवर पावर है बे यार
बहुत अरे पर क्लोज रेंज में क्या है लॉन्ग रेंज में रेड भाग जाती है फिर लॉन्ग रेंज के लिए घोस्ट याद आ जाती है
माँ को हाफ करके छोड़ने वाला था आई थिंक
हाँ वहां पर छोड़ने वाला
पालो पाउलो अभी तो ग्रुप ए ही चल रहा है कि पूरा अल्फा
अभी ब्रेक है कल टॉप 4 में कल टॉप 2 मिल जाएगी अपने को कल के दिन में टॉप 2 मिल जाएगा
हाँ
फिर बाद में एक दो दिन का रेस्ट है और 22 की 23 तारीख से ओमेगा चालू होगा फिर
अभी ओमेगा देखना है अभी अल्फा बहुत हो गया दोनों का साथ में रखना था बे यार
एनर्जी आएगा उधर से और इसमें से शायद क्लाउड9 ने तो ईजी आ जाएगा डीआरएक्स होगा गया तो भाई वो आरडीज भी क्या खेल रहा था ना तो उसको एम लैब देखा ना तूने आरडीज का भाई पागल हो जाता तू उस दिन ऐसा ब्रेक में दिखा रहे थे आरडीज का एम लैब भाई 95 के नीचे पीक रेट नहीं जा रहा था उसका अरे भाई
तूने कभी टैंक का देखा है
क्या एम
लैब हाँ
अबे तू कौन एनिग्मा का टीम मचा रहा है
अरे तू वो छोड़ यूट्यूब पे सर्च मार टैंक का एम लैब जल्दी
तेरे को मालूम है ये मचा रहा है एनिग्मा
सब छोड़ तू टैंक का एम लैब सर्च मार यूट्यूब पे तू देख तू पागल ना हो तेरे को क्या लगता है एम लैब लाने वाला कौन है टेंस है
क्या बात कर रहा है
तो एम लैब देख सिर्फ
कौन सा देख 1.2 मिलियन वाला
कोई कुछ भी देख ले हाँ ये देख ले कुछ भी देख ले तू एम लैब वाला कौन सा भी देख ले हाँ ये दूसरा वीडियो देख
ये भी कर सकता है बस सिर्फ लगेगा नहीं सीन हुआ है डॉट मैं भी कर सकता हूँ पर डॉट को लगेगा कि नहीं उतनी गारंटी नहीं है
हाँ तो वही है ना ये एम लैब लाने वाला टेंस है देख
वैलोरेंट के साथ पार्टनरशिप उसने किया ये एम
लैब हाँ मतलब पहला एम लैब इसको स्पॉन्सर करते थे देख क्लाउड9 में था तब से खेल रहा है
एक क्लाउड ने पूरा बाल थोड़ी हाईलाइट उसका
पहले थे ये फिर बाद में चेंज हो गए थे ना वो तो कलर कराता है ना तो
फुल हाईलाइट था
हाँ फुल हाईलाइट थे
उसको ब्लैक रख भाई अच्छा दिखता है
देखना एम लैब देखना भाई तू
देख रहा
पागल बना रहा
उससे भी कोई है हाईएस्ट स्कोर
I hit 130 that's my highest
एम लैब में कोई हाईएस्ट स्कोर है क्या
हाँ रहेगा ना जो एम लैब ग्राइंड करता है ना वो रहता है ना
पर एम लैब ग्राइंड करे क्या मतलब
मैं ऐसे ही भाई रहा यूट्यूब पे वो व्यू लेने हैं यूट्यूब पे व्यू लेने पे यार ऐसे ही कि मैंने इतना स्कोर किया ऐसे
एम लैब खेलते तो भाई टूर्नामेंट भी खेलना चाहिए ये एमयू देख डीएक्स है जर्सी है एमयू भाई देख
हाँ देखा मैंने
भाई उसने भी सबसे हार्ड कलर किया बाल
तेरे बिना
जी फाइटिंग लग रहा है फुल
जीव पे मिसाल
इनको फ्री टिकट है रोज का
हाँ तो उन लोगों के तो रहेगा ना स्पॉन्सर टीम है
पूरा 30 का 30 दिन फ्री
यस
मजा है ऋषि भाई से कांटेक्ट करना पड़ेगा जरा भाई भयंकर चिल्ला रहा है सुनने दो
Thank you, and you're right. It is a stark reminder. DRX.
क्या बोला है? कौन? एमए को? क्लाउड कंट्रोलर है. जी फाइटिंग के दिन मजा आएगा फिर भाई. मेरे भाई को बोला चल भाई जाते हैं अपन. वो मेरा भाई आने तैयार नहीं बोलता दुकान.
एक मैच तो जीतना चाहिए भाई.
जी भाई जी पहला मैच जीतना चाहिए वाइट लीडर सामने. बाकी तेल लगाने का पहला जीतना मांगता है भाई.
वही एक मैच तो जीतना चाहिए एटलीस्ट.
जाता हूँ मैं रुक जा वॉच पार्टी के चिल्ला तो रॉसी
Tries to establish any comfort once again in the second map.
Change the narrative of the story from the very word go. Play like they are that incredible team we've seen in the past. Kindle some of that brilliance and already off to a good start here. Plants there, but the retake is quick. And it's a 1-for-1 trade out off the back of the paranoia and the flash coming in from Zelstis, but again, Gonna put Stacks in a really uncomfortable position. Yeah, handled. Zelsis all too aware. Quick work being done here, but the 3 final players are the ones sitting deep. Super hard to clear out. What's the plan here?
Marco and Zest will both find kills. Zest will double down on it. 20 HP for Leaf. Just waiting for the beat to come through. Marco will seal the deal. And a pace change in round 1 here from DRX. Hopefully an indicator of a totally different approach here on Haven.
That bell of pace needs to toll throughout this game now for DRX. They cannot be dictated to like they were on that first map. They were flat. They did not look like they had turned up, and you saw it when they walked up the stage. It was just straight to the back. There was no high fives, no nothing. It was straight going back.
Where's Stage Stacks?
Stage Stacks is real quiet right now. That mouse is getting no kisses tonight. All right, there's no love being shown here. And we are seeing the Stinger buy-up still, actually.
Hey,
just got a glimpse of that.
Vanity said it. It was just a price nerf.
True
So
to his word.
relying on it once again here. Yay, obviously going to run the Headhunter into this one. Effectively a Guardian, especially in his hands. DRX will show a little presence early on here. Until they get a decent read on the fact there is a purchase behind this. At least cautious of it early on here.
I want to see if DRX are
Yeah,
able
he's
to test
tucked
this.
in, by the way. Yeah, he's
Look at
tucked
this
in.
It should be good for 1. Yeah, there it is, and actually dips out. Perfect. Jay not overstaying his welcome. Knows exactly his role here. Early warning signal. Actually feels he can re-aggress potentially, and
Oh,
he's
he
made
can
it
get
to
ahead of the
sight.
smoke, yeah.
Yeah, really good read on the timing for Ye. Second bite at it, no, didn't quite land as well as he wanted. Now, sadly for the rest of Cloud9, left in no man's land. Not able to really find that support there since Ye fell. But for DRX, this is good. This is a post-plant now.
Yeah, the numbers advantage as well, which rarely happened on the previous Vanity. Try and set up with the paranoia. Flash through. Actually, the TP out. Zelsis is going to find one. They follow through on this.
Surely they can't close down the gap on the rest. No, it's that kind of final line that gets held. Lovely work. DRX 3 standing. That's fine. 2 of those Bulldogs still in play. I think that's the majority of it. Yeah, that's fine. On the other side, because of those stingers, we have to see what they go for now. The economy could potentially spiral off the back.
An opportunity, at least early on, for DRX to build themselves up a lead.
In their match against BBL, DRX won 11
A confident approach to these early rounds. DRX need, in my eyes, 4 or 5 of those in this first half to even start to chip away from those map 1 nerves that certainly are lingering.
See if they can shake it off. Flash to set Ye into that angle once again, but it did find someone on the other side, so might have to be a little bit more cautious. Yeah, actually deciding against it here. And it will be looking like a C split as it stands. 1 to test Garage and 4 towards Longs. This is a lot of pressure on that shorty. But 4 players mirroring, and they do have that one, who is it? Stuck towards Garage. It's going to be RB. Maybe able to hear some of these steps. Again, a little bit trickier to pull that off when we are in these arenas. Finds nothing, and patience being displayed now. Dog clearing through middle. Zeppa will catch a glimpse. Okay, they've noted RB now. It looks like DRX off the back of this will readdress that C site.
Vanity tagged up, but with that shorty,
doesn't matter.
You almost bank on him going 1 for 1, even if he gets stunned here with the fault line.
The timing, he's going to let one pass slip into the smoke. This is a
Ye
great
just
play.
found that kill!
What? Sorry, Ye found that?
Ye just plucked Buzz from the skies.
They're fleeing the scene. They are running. They need to get the hell out of here, but they have no idea if anyone's waiting towards A. Maybe noting that Ye had adjusted was enough. Maybe the utility scene as well, that dog through middle. There's a lot of indicators that A should be free right now.
Get themselves a free plant at least.
Yep.
Buzz sent to the slaughter, but not in vain. Straight 4v4 here with Vanity falling to the hot hands of Zelsis.
Almost a 1G. Not quite.
Initially, C9 shut out here from the aftershock.
And I want to see diligence here from DRX, and it's just that wide swing from Zeppa. That frenzy looks just foul in his hands. Marco takes that next layer of contact, the pressure towards Sewer. They know where these both players are, and the overwhelm again!
Surely
Look
not.
at that face!
Surely not.
Look at what Ye has done to them. Look at Zelsis. They know they have just destroyed DRX's momentum again.
Show me the headshot. Show me the headshot. It happened literally over the top of Vanity's head. What is that?
Must be nice to have Ye on your team. God, and even this, that frenzy. That's like the CZ in full form for those who remember it. Bloody hell.
Vanity can't believe it.
No. No, right. And DRX must be
This is
shaking
after
to their core.
this is after the forcing round 2 from Cloud9. And they flip it back in round 3.
No harm, no foul to the economy now. They're feeling happy about this, and it's an all-in A piece as it begins. There's no secondary plans. There's a little bit of utility from the KJ, but that's about it. It looks like respect being shown by Cloud9, sitting a little deeper. Maybe Ye to get one shot at it if he had the opportunity, but the smoke is in place.
We're going to rely on the retake again.
And look, DRX's side takes are famed, and rightly so. Now they need to be able to hold these retakes that Cloud9 have been making look like their own, and already Zelst is happy to go in with that ult, see what space he can find. Graffiti looking clear. This now has a little bit more information on the playback through. Leaf going to find RB, and now Hell's next on the chopping block, but actually DRX dig their heels in. Finally, they find form.
Beautiful response there. Again, burning up a little bit of utility. C9 trying to get just ahead of DRX's expectations. Zelsus unfortunately not able to really create anything coming out of that smoke. But I think you're absolutely right. Cloud9 demonstrating once it, they have to respect these site hits. Whether or not we're going to see an opportunity for C9 to, maybe if it's some kind of situation where there's 3 towards one side, they might try and dig their heels in.
Timeout called. Considering how well prepped they were on map 1, they seem to have a game plan here, and they certainly know DRX's strengths. I am wondering if they can refine those retakes, or if there is another way they want to approach this, potentially, and more pressure on the back lines. However they want to do it, there's options. Into this round, though, I am waiting to see if we just see that hero rifle with Ye as well. I'd love to see what he has planned for it. But for now, it's coach time. Talk through the options. The problem is, I would say now DRX get to strengthen this, as they do have so many ults to play with. Yes, RB burnt theirs earlier on, but Stacks, Buzz, Marco, Zest, all now prepared for that. I don't know if he actually had that ult earlier on. We were just telling Porcupines. But yeah, timeout for Cloud9 should give them at least a little bit of readjustment. After now we've seen DRX find form finally.
I think it's difference being here with the veto as well. DRX showing previously Haven versus BBL. I mean, not much to take away from that first half. 11-1, I believe it was.
Yeah.
BBL just scraping through one round there. I'm curious to see what C9 fall back on. What's the adaptation that we'll see?
I want to see if Ye gets much play with this rifle.
He did make a sound there. Yeah, the alarm bot's going to stop any further progress anyway, but C9 got bodies here very early on.
Now, do they fight on this? They actually do, yeah. They're trying to actually make a little bit of a mid-play, which works out this time. Zelsis gets away and gets an upgrade. Leap in tow as well. And now Stacks put on the chopping block. He needs to find some form himself. Marco by his side. Ye on the backside makes it over. Ye being the problem. And now Zest eats that flash. He's so blind. Noted scene. Pressure galore. And Cloud9 thrifty the round. Beautiful work.
And it's not even really on the back of Ye's rifle.
No,
it's on the back of Zelsis on a stinger. I mean, sticking true to their word. That gun very much still packs a punch.
God, and what a response.
I'm not even sure that is the smoke a little off there on Heaven. How is Lee finding that kill? We come back to, again, something that I hinted at in map 1, which is DRX making the finest of mistakes.
At this level, though, you will see it exploited. They may have gone away with it in the past, but now certainly not the case. And it's
like
a four-man stack
we're
towards
not
A.
used to seeing that.
No, we're not. And for now, Buzz on the site, and it's clear, and that should be indicative that something is wrong. Something is terribly wrong here. Zest instantly on guard duty, and I think Marco's just joined him towards C long here, and that is where 3 players will be coming back through. 2 through CT, 3 through T, and you are going to see the Seekers in that flash just to come around the corner here. Didn't quite make it as deep as wanted. And Zest could be in trouble now. Yeah, there's the Seeker coming in. Needs to depend on some of his buddies to help him out. Buzz does well to find Ye. That's towards CT. Could do with another leap. Not able to apply the pressure at the same time now. Adjustment through Garage. Vanity gets found. This is really nice from DRX. We are getting answers back and forth between these two. Big round from Buzz, and Zellsis denied. DRX continue the lead.
They flip a Thrifty back on Cloud9. Actually, with the operator invested, yes, Ye will have the tour de force. Vanity's going to struggle. He's not scared of playing a Stinger or a Judge in a round like this. That's will be able to get a weapon across from Zellsis actually onto the light armor. Rolling Thunder, Hunter's Fury, the TP for Marco.
Gosh, what a
this
high
round,
quality
yeah,
game.
on the back of Buzz's Blade Storm.
Really.
A lot of confidence builder for them.
Yeah. They needed that after being almost looked down on in those previous rounds, overrun, and it's a B site hit. Now they had success in the very early round of this, but Buzz warded away from trying to take a little bit more space through that connector side. Ye posted deep towards CT in case he tries to creep it, but for now, we look at those post plants so deep. Marco, great shot on Zellsis, catches him just as he tried to get towards the back of the site, and there's still Buzz on the site. They didn't expect him to be lingering this long. Stacks finding lead, Buzz doing damage. Big work coming out here from DRX. Keeping the narrative strong for them on this map. This could be one of the best games quality-wise we're going to see.
And what's key is here, it's a flawless following that Thrifty. So it gives DRX a massive buffer in terms of the finances here. Not relying on the ultimates either, to still have that in play. Ye just trying to get with a cheeky TP back onto top site. Again, no hesitation from Cloud9 though. This is a carbon copy of that pistol round execute. Forcing, but well, keeping Buzz in check, I will say, initially. But immediately, there's 3 coming through A-Link and 2 holding that C-Link position. C9 constantly ready to brawl for some of these.
Oh, Leaf just got deleted. That's why you don't stand on the site when they're hitting those executes. I think it's a very telling story right now. DRX changing the narrative after Cloud9 looked colossal on map 1. This is DRX restoring some faith in their game plan, but it ain't over yet. The plant is down. Still a good post plant here, and keep in mind the ults they have in play to Zest with a Hunter's Fury if required. And so far not needing it. Not called in. Vanity making damage happen. But to find the final 2 would be something out of this world. Oh my god, the damage was there. A rifle found. Does he tap the spike? Yes, he does. He wants the attention drawn, but look at RB! Oh my god, Vanity, no way. No way do you get this. That smoke isn't going to last, but he knows the position. And Zest, the jump peak should be telling enough. It came down to a 1v1, but it is DRX again.
Drifting back towards that kind of death ball execute that DRX have shown us so many times. Once again, another where they're not relying on these ultimates. Still got them in play here for Cloud9's buy round. Ye back on the operator, but not an awful lot in terms of funds behind this for C9. So yes, even though damage done in this round won't really equate to too much. DRX are able to win out here.
Starting to feel out the game a little bit. Confidence starting to show. Quick answer back. Quelling all of that doubt from map 1 to me. It is only 6-2, but the fashion in which we're here.
Got the difference in pace again. It's another round that's such a stark contrast. Zellsis though, with the running back again.
Yeah, but Buzz, is he ready for this one? Zellsis, how far can you get here? He's got a fight on the site, but it's actually a 2-for-1 trade out. Zellsis gets sent back, and it's a swing from Buzz. Oh my word, Vanity and Leaf! It is brutal out here, absolute pandemonium, and Zest is the only one standing. How's it gone to this? But does he expect Ye? Oh, death from above! Ye's there, and willing to fight it out. Cloud9 brawl right on back.
And I think we've seen C9 in this position before where they've respected the plant. They've waited for that audio cue to come through. This on the back of Zellsis' ultimate. The pre-take successful this time. Huge work done to get ahead of those smokes as well.
Oh, it's such fine margins here, Mike.
There's not a lot in some of these rounds at all.
And the scoreline looks quite compelling for DRX, absolutely, but still.
Like I noted as well, look at the purchase here on the back of that for Cloud9 though. A Bulldog, Spectre, actually 2 Spectres here in play.
This is a different look though from DRX, testing middle a little bit here, but at a different tempo. It's not that same B take we've seen before.
It's lucky he wasn't around before. There was 3 members of Cloud9 outside B side previously. And And they wouldn't have known that with that quick piece towards A.
They've left A completely open. This is such a mad read, and I guess considering they've had no utility, there's no plant, there's no pressure towards A, this is the right call.
They're anticipating DRX's fear of Ye being there, controlling A long, positioning towards Sewer early on as well in one of these rounds.
It's just a chess game between these two. Vanity looking to maybe set Zelstis in for the swing, but Buzz was way ahead of that. Already considering taking towards that C site now. And yeah, it's Leaf on the chopping block. Should dip away from this one. There's the counter paranoia coming in, trying to make the most of it. Good trades, but it's all effective for DRX. They've got the site, they should have the plant. Vanity attempting to find the bit of nasty timing here. Can't make it at all. Now just Ye, operator, a valuable piece of equipment. He might want to try and keep that one, but already DRX looking to find him, slowly hunting towards him, and Ye trying to slip away quietly into the night, but see if Zest catches him. No, no one does actually. Ye might be able to make away with this.
Has to hold on to it. A million miles away from the tour de force, and the knock-on effect really not going to be able to muster together a purchase. Well, they could throw Stingers in the mix again. Cloud9 will struggle here.
Oh, this is where it gets scary. Ye. Oh, it's just deathmatch for Ye. Come off it. And RB the final one. There can't be much left on this round now. Did he find them all?
A million miles away from the tour de force, by the way. Wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close. I told a lie here. All right, 3-7. Does get to keep the operator at 1.8 in the pocket. That's about it. That's the light armor, and we see what buy they go for around this, because as much as the scoreline is quite one-sided here, DRX have been doing incredibly well. Some of these rounds have been on a knife's edge.
Just stop it. I mean, this is the sort of thing DRX are desperate to avoid in the early round, right?
Yes,
with the awareness of where Ye's been positioning. That's why I think we see DRX almost playing strat roulette, right? Just mixing things up, trying to keep it fresh and new every single round. Looking a little more traditional now. This is the default we're used to on Haven from DRX. Zeppa will be denied some information on A long, but hanging around at least. The drone from very deep outside A lobby. Won't even spot Zeppa.
We haven't seen anyone kind of pushing that deep yet from Cloud9, so maybe just going through protocol list and making sure that is being accounted for. Okay, Zeppa's seen one. Flashback up in 5. Does still have the dog to play with, but we did see that Cloud9 went for that full play lean towards C. There was kind of 2 posted on site, 2 more towards B and Garage. So Zeppa just trying to puff up the chest, try and keep hold of the site, but he has to respect this. They weren't even challenging this on full buys, so as it stands, Cloud9 going to be postured once again for full-on retake.
He's invested. Paranoia sent out already. Buzz and Stax both finding kills. Stax going to double down. Much better from DRX now. Well, they will oh no!
Oh, let's go. Prime Gaming Foolish with a little bit of a crouch spam on it too. I'll take that. They get that operator away finally.
And finally, DRX lean back on using an ultimate to seal a round. They come into round 12. Almost with a full deck.
God, and the utility wasn't bad either from Cloud9. It connected on a fair few.
I think here DRX, they're kind of minimizing the amount of utility they use on, because they know Cloud9 are just going to pop off that audio cue from the spike. So they're ready for the drop down from heaven. They're ready for this swing out of the smoke.
I almost want to see if there's a switch up on some aggression. It looks like maybe even DRX were expecting that with a little pop towards long, see if they could find Zeppa early, or if anyone's trying to aggress down. Because there is that kind of like 2, I guess, thoughts. You can either get aggressive, try and deny the early space. This would be the first smoke going in, but yeah, they look like they want to try and work with this a little bit. The utility is really so well crafted to deny any sort of that mid-tempo re-aggress. And again, Buzz, perfect place to find the first. There's going to be the Nano Swarm to follow. Leafo does trade in well, and now there's going to be a spot towards heaven. At least 2 players now seen. Can they make anything of this, though? The flash is good, but it's not going to find any sort of value of doing damage. And there's the Hunter's Fury, just going to deny them even getting out of there! Stuck in window! No one coming down this time.
And this is more like it. DRX showing awareness. Buzz starting to explore inside smokes when they're anticipating C9 are stacked up, looking to pop flash out. Even here with Zest, They know that waterfall's coming from heaven. The Hunter's Fury posted up there just to disrupt them.
9-3. People tell me something about this scoreline, but I'm not so worried. But Mike, this is a resurgence from DRX. They are not done just yet. They are still in this game. Analysts, are you a believer now? Is it still going the distance?
Oh, baby, I'm a believer.
भयंकर फेंकते हैं, भाग इधर से, फेंकने की भी आदत होती है। थर्ड मैप नहीं दिख रहा है? नहीं रे, मेरे भाई को बोल रहा हूँ, भाई भाग रहा है, मेरा होता है। DRX जीतना मांगता है भाई। कोणाची गाडी? त्या वकीलने गाडी घेतली? तुम्हाला मित्र आहे तो एक। ये हेवन पे जेट ना, पर फिनिक्स भी अच्छा है, दिखने जाएगा तो एंगल्स फ्लैश कवर कर सकता है। वो देखो पता है, सेंटिनल्स वाले पहला डबल डोजेज खेलेंगे, सेंटिनल्स 10 पे और जोम्स खेलने का शायद फिनिक्स ना, सीख खेलने का, सीखा भयंकर था वो लोग का पहला टूर्नामेंट था ना, वो लोग ने उधर ही मचा है। बहुत पर बाद में भाई लोगों ने रेड करना चालू कर दिया, ऐसा सीन है। देखो हर महीने स्टैट्स चेंज करना पड़ेगा, हर महीने घुस गए बेचारे। अभी मालूम पड़ेगा, ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स को भी कोई रीड नहीं करेगा भाई ये मैच में। ग्लोबल स्पोर्ट्स टाइटल जीत जाएगा वहां क्या। The course of both teams has last phase for 38 days ago with C9 winning 2-1 champions Berlin 7 December. C9 जीता था, पर तभी प्लेयर भी अलग थे ना भाई।
Yeah, and worlds apart from map 1 as well. I'm hoping that same approach brought across to their defensive side, and actually the pressure now mounts on C9. I'm with Mimi, we need to see value from this chamber here. Well, arguably the more troublesome side. Leaf just toying with the RX here, but 3 members already pushed up very deep. RB will find contact elsewhere.
Plays live. Look at the pressure between the Donovan through middle, but still actually succeeds in that fight. That feels almost unfair, but by now the C site is under wraps. But look at the pressure coming up from C-Long. Vanity hyper aware of this, but I don't know what he can do to really change how this goes. An off-position plant just to try and allow safety for this. Vanity needs to be good for at least one. And he is absolutely up to the test. A second would be gorgeous for him. Zest's next fight to be had. Notes it. And now the play's coming in through from Garage. Where's the support system? Where's the rest of his side? They're falling around him. RB and Stacks have found 2. And now just Vanity in a 1v4. Too tall of a task, and Stacks is there. Double digits made for DRX.
And a real positive here shown from the pistol round is that they're willing to dig out that lurk. Almost anticipating, I think, Ye will slip into that kind of role. The Cats leave elsewhere, luckily finding contact in Garage, so they double down on that initial pressure outside A lobby. Curious to see, actually, if this does continue. This is immediate. 3 people pushing all the way up. They even had Stacks as well in a link, ready set up for that fault line. It's a great awareness shown from DRX. Double digits already here. C9 back on the Stingers.
ये अपना साइड तो भयंकर गाली देता है
obviously the headhunter for Ye.
भयंकर मतलब भयंकर गाली देता है.
He's going to try and look for an opener here. We'll spot Zest and continue to explore.
Looking at what Cloud9 can do with these Stingers. Any plan in mind to really bring them into that position to do so much damage? Zelsis working down that Garage utility. Still above a minute, so plenty of time to play through this. It's Ye on an island, really. No support system, none needed. The headhunter himself. Oh, Diablo sending one to the grave. Does he expect the second? Oh, the flash, he turns it. Well, again, yay! Come hell or high water, this man will deliver you frags. But look at the backfill. Stax is here. He does have a rifle. Will they still clear as diligently as before? What can one man do the timing? Oh no, it's terrible here. He's overwhelmed. One left, one right, and there's Zels is just flying through. And Cloud9 maybe tearing this round away from DRX.
Marco going to be coming through from B side here, but a 1v3. The upgrades in hand for Cloud9. Don't even need it with Ye on that headhunter.
Oh, it's good to see. It is good to see.
We've got the paranoia here, but C9 disconnected here. They have to work very hard to find all three of these. Yay! We'll stop him at the first hurdle. C9 back on the board in the second half. Beautiful conversion on the back. Well, I want to see value early on. See round 2.
This was a
After
solo
this
mission.
yeah, literally no support whatsoever here for Ye. Got a freebie to round it out.
That's your first draft pick right there. There's a reason he was one of the most wanted men in NA and I guess around the globe.
In the world.
Yeah, throughout this. Cloud9's the one to get him. And he can sometimes give you a round like that. But now we have to wait and see. It's still 4-10. Let's bring it back into... Yay, I've been hyping you up. Relax. Does get buzz. If we just didn't see how he did it, it'd been much more exciting.
He's got a heal, it doesn't matter.
It's fine. It's fine. Again, it's just pistols this time for DRX, so this should be clean work if you're looking at being pedantic, which we are. You want to see 5 standing.
Especially at this round deficit as well. I want to try and snowball off these early rounds. And already with Ye getting closer and closer to that tour de force.
Yeah.
Something they can rely on. Leaf didn't spot Stax there. Stax nearly got caught off guard. Able to find one cheeky kill.
Oh.
Not even that.
Valiant attempt. So far for, oh, excuse me, 5. All standing, all sitting pretty. And a plant. So Zest. Good luck, my guy. He's been having a brilliant performance, though. If we're talking about individuals, obviously, Ye deserved the praise there, but Zest has been having a wonderful series so far.
Absolutely. Especially in a matchup like this where Bus was heavily shut down on some of those defensive setups on Pearl in particular from Cloud9. Denied any opportunity to get aggressive in some of those post-plant scenarios or even actually ahead of the site hit. Doubt he's saving the classic.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh.
No.
They're pinging it out. They know where he's going to try and get to die to that spike. Yeah, couldn't get to him in time. It's all good. He will fall. No problems there. And no damage done. So Cloud9 have done maybe those not orthodox of routes, but they have got 2 rounds here. So they do have the building blocks, and this is the timeout. DRX know the value of this round coming in here.
And what's important here, consider as well, Zelsis on that ultimate already, and that's something when we talk about snowballing, having this online for the buy round. To even just throw out on a whim.
Yeah.
Into some of these site hits, but what's key here for me for DRX, if they do continue to explore, obviously here without the benefit of a purchase behind this, they have to keep it in check. When it becomes more and more difficult to really justify some of these aggressive plays, particularly on the defense.
This does get certainly quite tricky.
I'm looking at RB's knocking on the door, having his ultimate. There's not an awful lot else for DRX to rely on here. We haven't really seen them put Buzz in a position to, actively seek out these engagements. I think maybe that's the fear of Ye.
I think it's a warranted fear.
Absolutely, especially when he's got no support.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't be on a whim going for that, you're right. But now we have to wait and see. This is where it can either be, I feel like this is GG or we actually get a game. And look, we've seen exceptions to that rule, but...
Just quickly here,
yeah, talk to
see that same, effectively 4-man setup to obtain a lobby. See how deep DRX actually do explore here.
पोजीशन चेंज हो रहा है भाई.
Leafs put a deep camera as well. It's pinged out.
अगर टैलेंट जीता तो देख तू.
They will spot Buzz.
उसके पहले कौन सा था?
Still not dealt with it just yet. Yeah, he's waiting to see exactly where it is. Still, it's going to keep 3 members of DRX here.
तेरा prediction कुछ भी है.
A little window of time now. You're right.
हाँ ना.
Maybe they can make something of this.
मतलब फोटो डाल दिया तो हार गया. वाह.
Deep smoke invested.
अरे
Stax is ready for a fault line or a flash off this utility.
There it is. And the pressure building though. That's Zelsis popping the ult. And he actually gets handled. So RB sitting deep, quite telling that they are in these deeper positions, but do they note Stax here? Sat at the back of that B site. How much value do they put to clearing him? No, not enough at all. They let it get away way too much here. 2 big kills from Stax, who waited so patiently for this. And RB all too aware of any pressure coming through Garage after Zelsis' ult. Ran through this. Great re-clear from RB here.
Celsius and Ye left to fight. Ye stunned up still. Lands the headshot on Zest, but Buzz there to equalize. So the defuse coming through. Zelsis not going to be able to get too much done here.
The damage, but no time. Couldn't quite get around the corner. That's all that's going to happen, trying to chase him down as best he can. But yes, it will be 11 for DRX.
Well, I was talking about this. DRX won't have fantastic position in terms of the finances coming out of that. C9 will reap the reward. And the fact that Zelsis' ultimate shut down so early on means that Stax can tuck in here. I think initially he was looking for a contact play off the utility, but actually holds his nerve. Whether or not the smoke on the front of B actually covers the turret, I'm not entirely sure, but I think C9 had almost anticipated a frantic rotation.
We get to see a test of this as well. We saw this piece last time, didn't get fully explored, but now maybe that sort of force information on towards Sewer. Yeah, he's tempted. The flash is good, it's indicative. They know that someone has pushed up, who's tucked into the corner.
Problem being though, the fault line's used already, and they don't know about Ye just yet. Buzz is going to stand off. And Ye's reading this perfectly. He knows they're tucked in.
Ooh!
What?
Oh, Buzz! Unbelievable. But it is 3 players there, so in actuality, Cloud9 still have a good read.
Ye has commanded this stack to remain towards A site. They have to rely on the retake here as the plant comes through on C. A man advantage, yes, do have the lockdown available as well.
They're pushing CT. I actually quite like this. They're trying to take back CT space, but the utility down poured back in effect to try and allow DRX to springboard in towards the site. And now left in no man's land, Cloud9 crumble. Leaf is down, Buzz is there. DRX, perfection in this round.
Beautiful stuff. Like I said, the amount of respect given to Ye to maintain that, but DRX then convert this man advantage. Get themselves to 12. One that actually almost felt like some gaps in the utility here. What is that?
God, seeing it from both perspectives as well.
Ye just sees an elbow.
Yep, that's
just sees an elbow and it shoots back.
Lovely.
Couple of rounds this map as well, where Stax is looking a little more alive than map 1. We barely saw anything from him on Pearl.
And I still think this map is true in nature for DRX, a true safe haven.
The bread and butter, yeah?
Because you get to see the best of them, right? And it's why we always want to see that kind of echo through the rest of the maps. But if this gets them at least back into this game, you've got to take that. You've got to take that and just run with it. It's now 5-12. Cloud9 going to pump the brakes. See what they can come up with this for their final couple of attempts here. They do have enough to fashion a purchase.
Well, I mean, Zelsis will be on a full buy with this stinger anyway.
Exactly, he's fine. But beyond that, a little bit of a difference in look here. I do want to say that we've just seen 2 very different maps though. Of Cloud9 at their best here. I think anyone watching the veto now going forward, whoever you play against, you are seeing where you want to take your veto. Or take it away from, should I say.
Just get Pearl out.
Yeah. Don't go near Pearl and Cloud9. Just move it away. 5-12 though, made to look human here, showing they do bleed. And the final purchase going to come through. If DRX do convert this round, we're looking at the buy that Cloud9 has. Yes, there are some caveats, but it is mostly there.
They spread the funds a little bit. I think actually Ye able to drop out a second rifle here.
Let's get into it.
Ye curious towards mid this time. It's not clean from Stax, but actually Buzz there to find the second. Zelsis will respond. But very early on here, a 3v4 for
Celsius is
CLOUD9.
ahead of this. The turret luckily will save him in this one. Actually, yeah, Marco gets away okay. They didn't fall to that ult that got popped. I think it was a little ahead of their timing expectation, but the turret taking contact was perfect.
They don't really garner any space on the back of it, even though Celsius gets so deep before being dealt with.
I guess just forcing Marco to plat, that's still no real difference.
I mean, the problem being with it being a 4v3 here, Leaf almost has to watch Celsius' body. Has to be conscious that the ultimate's going to be punished, so they can't capitalize off it.
Push there. What? Leaf, you're absolutely nuts, Leaf. What a time to find two. Gives them gateway to this round. Zest and Marco behind the curve here. TP taken for Vanity. He's further ahead. Spike going to go down. Yes, it does leave him a little vulnerable on the side, but Vanity dips back in. Make sure it's as robust as possible.
Just won't have the recon here. Vanity should have a smoke back online at some point. Hot Hands will cut off Heaven, at least ahead of that smoke. DRX still go for this.
Also, they're chomping at the bit too. No kill really given across though. Marco makes of it as best he can through on CT, but he did lose his teammate in the meantime. And yeah, not a chance here. Leaf, outstanding round there. Two really critical kills.
You'll have to buy on the back of this, Elise, but this started with a 2-for-1 trade in favor of DRX. So it's just Leaf to find RB's rifle slipping back in here, yeah. Doubles down on it as well.
Lovely.
Buzz, can't even fault him there for trying to counter swing and trade this. Leaf just sharp to it though. The immediate adjustment, anticipating it.
So impressive to watch. Again, the individuals of Cloud9, maybe being outplayed here as a collective, I think is a fair assessment, but individually certainly can still go very much toe-to-toe. Nice on pop for Buzz. Let's see what the plan is now. Swing on long. 3 players going to be noted here. DRX can mirror that with 3 of their own.
Make a financial decision here to Jill. Okay. Nearly going for it.
She is going for it, and it's a little overcooked. He's just fed into the beast.
I'm going to say, DRX trying to get that operator online for Buzz. I think it's why we see just a partial buy here. Buzz to pull out the Blade Storm, a Bulldog in the hands of Marco. Celsius will punish. Should be fairly comfortable in order. Stacks could get a big fault line off this though, but the Seeker's going to deny him from really swinging onto it. Vanity will save the life of Leaf.
Yeah, he's playing aim training on the back lines here, making sure no one gets that pressure. Doesn't want to lose too much either. Smart approach. Try and keep as much as they can. They can't really drop players at this point. That's the sidestep the flash, and the second one, but will eventually go down.
Yeah, C9 have to try and maintain these finances. They've got 5 left to find. Yeah, like I said, Buzz immediately onto that operator now. In position to get a full shield behind it as well. Hunter's Fury lockdown still available here for RB. Stacks 2 off the Rolling Thunder.
So many opportunities for DRX to close this out though. That's, if I'm looking at it that way, I look at the Sound 12. They have all these ults to play with.
They're waiting for that one kind of snowball round, I think. Yeah. Maybe with the operator in hand, this will be it.
Could be. And Cloud9 going to be well aware of that as well. Fully cognizant of the cycle of the ults coming through, the economy now in the right position. Yeah, he does make it across. Now there is a player watching that, that'll be Zest.
Potentially, actually, yeah, Buzz is going to be able to hold the retreat, but we'll burn up the TP just to get out. We're curious to see what the next step is here for DRX.
Okay. Instantly sent away. No one to punish RB on this as well, so very aware of how to handle Celsius and the pressure they wanted to try and push towards Garage. And that's been dealt with. We're about 50 seconds now, and there's not been huge success on these sides for Cloud9, at least in the early steps. Stacks last time got away with 2 kind of back sight. I doubt he's going to get the same sort of business again. Flash gonna set it in. Oh my word, he maybe
Jinja
still
bachchi
does
retake
things
kar
really.
raha hai.
Oh my
Jinja
word! How dare I
Oh,
doubt stats? But Zephyr, are you the one to do it? 3 kills this round. 2 more against them. Split between either side. The lockdown has come in.
Fellow Cloud9.
Gonna force them into Buzz's operator.
Buzz needs to hit this one shot. It should be the safest shot of his life.
Vanity हाथ
And
ऊपर.
it's good. Buzz gonna find one, backs away, still alive, it's fine. Vanity avoiding the lockdown. And DRX
Beast bomb बाद में दे अंदर जा planning
just
कर.
maintaining at the end there. There was a build up from Cloud9. It started to look a little more contested. But let's talk about, again, for me, the first half of DRX in this game, from this map at least, was outstanding.
They absolutely needed that in terms of regaining in this series. They're going to a third now to basically eliminate that kind of mental knock-on effect from map 1. Beautiful stuff, and just to come back to it again, so many times we're seeing Stacks good for 2 in a position where he's on an island solo. Anticipation there, actually initially I think it was 4 members of Cloud9 tucked themselves inside Marco's smoke, outside B. I was saying very quiet map 1 from him, but definitely getting back on the board here on Haven.
Yeah, this is a really... I'm glad we got to see this from DRX. It would have been a terrible shame to see them whimpering out after map 1. Find their form here in map 2. They've kind of stabilized a fair amount, depending on those strengths that we know them for that were missing from map 1. But now we look again on what's on the horizon, and it will be Icebox. So what do we see? Do we see Cloud9 map 1? Do we see DRX map 2? Where do we see this now leaning towards? Mike, I'm going to ask.
You saw it against a team like DRX, stripping them any dignity in some of those moves. There was so many positives to take away from DRX in that one. You know, again, if you just roll it back a little bit, Zephyr had much quieter, making that comparison Stacks and DRX struggle. And some people say Zephyr was the reason they struggled here, but much quieter map.
DRX cure. DRX.
आराम से
Map number 3 DRX.
इजी वे
रुक जा वॉशरूम जाके आया मैं 1 मिनट.
मैं भी
केवल आया तू? Hello, hello, hello.
Next map, you're going to have to change.
Wi-Fi गया GGBC. Wi-Fi गया तेरा ओ तेनु. Refresh मार क्या रे?
Was absolute perfection on these executes, and on
Refresh
top of that,
they
really shored up their post plans. They struggled with those quite a bit on Pearl, but here on Haven, they looked fantastic. 90% win rate after getting the spike down 10 times in the first half. That is incredibly impressive, especially because C9 again was building their composition around this double flash setup to go for these fast.
भाडमध्ये गेला. बाय आपण जाऊया 23 तारखेला मला जायचं. असा चिंग 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 अरे पहिली मॅच जिंकणार वाईटलीला मारणार बोन कोल्ड फोन कोल्ड एवढा उडत ना सर्व झोपण त्या सिनेडरला पण झोपणार थांब सिनेडरला सिनेडर आहे ना त्यांच्याकडे चांगली रे पोरगी अभ्यास केला तेवढा बज वसीस या ते केवरचं रेट चालला गेला बिचाराचा गेलं बघ काय म्हणत ऍक्सिडेंट मध्ये होतो ना बहुतेक पहिला बघ काय बोलतोस खूप हेड अंडर मारलेलं त्यांनी हे टॉस करून करतात कोण पहिला बॅन करणार असं सगळं टॉस करत असेल टॉस कुठे करतात ते लोक दाखवायला पाहिजे ते सर्व पण मजा येईल ना किती आलं
But unfortunately,
फोन दे फोन आण बघू का विदाउट पण फोन पडला तर बीटी होईल कोण लीग स्टेज म्हणजे आता याच्यानंतर टुर्नामेंट आहे पॅसिफिकची स्प्लिट आहे ना समजलं तुला 10 टीम मध्ये ते नंतर जिंकला तर VCT मला बघून जा 10 मिनिटं लागेल एक हाफ चालू करेगा की नहीं टी शर्ट मस्त आहे खेली चालू
Obviously mixing up that wall a little bit, taking deeper control towards Snowman. So I'm curious if DRX have got something else cooked up. Well, I hope they have.
I bloody
Don't
hope
pull
so.
out the harbour here with elimination on the line, map 3, and not have something to rely on.
And that is what we will be looking at. Mike, I'm tasking you with finding value in this, and if you agree, it's actually worth it. For now, we wait and watch. as it will be DRX on the attack inside, Cloud9 to defend. An early look towards A, and presence noted now.
Stacked up here, 3 members of Cloud9, although Vanity drifting away from this, so it would just be Yay and Zelsis to hold down the floor. Still got that wall available. Yay actually armed with a Sheriff, will get an opening tag.
Got themselves a window of opportunity though, Mike. They obviously don't know how much by. They need to make their move now. Yay gonna try and slip ahead, and Yay still standing with 2 big kills. Sheriff to hand, and doing serious damage here. Spams away, does not find connection towards Marco, who does find one back, and DRX not out of it yet. Vanity left in the 1v1. Zest on the other side had a great performance in map 2. And Vanity needs to cool off for a second. 2 big kills already. And Zest closing in, DRX. First on the board, but it was fought for.
Zest just creeping up on that angle, catches Vanity off guard, at least initially here. What the call was there, really, with why Vanity peels away from A site. Even Zelsis and Yay in a precarious position. I mean, Yay still gets his. Runs 2 ahead of that. Actually, that second wave is just so clean from DRX. Everybody swinging through the wall at the same time. Looks like maybe Stax' utility going to be dedicated towards taking top 4-10 control on these A hits. Or at least this early space denial that we're seeing for a second time here towards B.
Buzz noted here.
They get an indication of the stack though.
Yeah, you're already going to pull players over. Yeah, he's gone down, just overwhelmed. Buzz going to send the wave in motion. Taking the site. Actually allowing the plant to come through here as well. They're trying to get into it, not going to happen. Yeah, plants in. This is lovely from DRX. Clean work. RB, no stress. Beautiful. Prime gaming, flawless. Mike, what are we making of the Harbor in that round? That was quite nice.
I mean, so far, I mean, we're already seeing, obviously, this early space denial. We're seeing the layering behind that fight ball, which is basically going to give, well, cancel out the cooldown almost. And straight away, we're seeing a difference here in plant position for DRX, which is, well, I said, they were one of the first teams to really start switching up some of these B-side hits on Icebox.
Very innovative team. And I'd quite like to see if we see that little glimpse of DRX again. Always pleasant to see when they get a little creative. They've had some downtime. I mean, a lot of these rosters outside of this have been in rebuild phase, so getting down those fundamentals, running through what they've got. I'm hoping the DRX had gone back to the drawing board. And let's see if there's a challenge now. Cloud9 maybe looking to challenge that wall, or that wave, should I say. And they have actually postured up Yay a little deeper, so they're going to clear this comfortably. Should be quite telling that it is going to be an A piece. Oh, he's going to continue forward, actually. Yay taking a little bit more space. The turret does go in, so that will be defending that back line.
Yeah, DRX almost going to be approaching this fairly dry. So with no flashes, just relies on getting close, capitalizing on this utility, and actually Zest a little ahead of the utility this time around.
Yeah, timing a little inconsistent, and Zelsis all too aware of one of the players, trying to break it down and deny the palm. Lovely work. Really good positioning coming out from Zelsis there, just to challenge that if that was a consideration. Now DRX need to fall back to another plan as that wave is going to drop, and it does. Buzz with 1, looking for Marco to get the follow-up, and he does do just that. Maybe beyond that would be a little bit too much to ask for, but we look at what's remaining. It's just RB with that Bulldog. 3 players on the other side, rifled up and ready to go, and that back line is collapsing. Yay closing in. 30 seconds, RB maybe thinking he could isolate that fight, but the other 2 sitting super deep, allowing Yay that room to work. Oh, well, that's a barrel noted.
Yay spotted him as well, yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to sit back a little deeper now. He's reading that RB wanted to isolate that fight. He's not going to give him it.
RB's able to remove another weapon. Could be worthwhile, but 10 seconds left now. Might even just try and get the extra ult orb. Denial coming through from Cloud9.
All right. That could be it. That's lovely from RB.
He's got the lockdown.
Yeah. Oh my god, he does. This is going to either quicken the pace or they have to respect it. They're going to try and find the fight here. RB has to back away. He's got to fight again. RB! Incredible! The lockdown gets dealt with, and now Leaf in the 1v1. Time on RB's side! It's impeccable work from RB!
Unbelievable stuff from RB for the Red Bull clutch. A 1v3, C9 giving him so much space and respect. And RB punishes. That's a heartbreaking round for Cloud9.
Because it looked gifted, it looked on a platter. I gotta say, he was able to dice them up into 1v1s, manageable 1v1s, so well. Yeah, that's frustrating if you're a coach. Because that's a tilter even as a player. You're sitting there thinking, we've got a 3v1, Only got a bulldog at best, no worries here, we should be fine.
The worst thing being here, Leaf, C9 make the right decisions, right? Leaf's tagged up, he goes all the way deep into spawn. But then the spacing between Yay and Vanity, there's just no opportunity, A, to deny the plant, or B, to get a peek together onto site.
Man, this is huge, what a game. This is a warning signal for me. Cloud9, when they look good, they look almost untouchable. But this is DRX looking in potentially full force. I'll hold my word until we see the full buys back and forth. But again, here's his attempt at that plant. This time, Zelsis unable to really question it, and Buzz the first to draw blood on towards Jay. The site's theirs.
The lockdown, obviously there's stingers across the board here, whether or not Cloud9 want to invest into this. It's doubtful here, but actually, yeah, Vanity will.
Deep, can you go for this? Okay.
It's a very deep lockdown, actually. Yeah. It's way ahead of screens, the traditional position for it.
See how it goes. Does it hold? Buzz gonna find Leaf. Buzz onto Zeppa. Eventually goes down. Defuse gonna start. Gonna maybe get it towards halfway. Yes, body blocking in effect. Turn and face the music. RB again. Signs it, seals it, delivers it. DRX up to 4.
I need to make something work in this buy round now. Big investment to throw the lockdown into that previous. Again, DRX showing that they have the ability to use this cove to put themselves in a much safer post-plant position to hold. Yeah, another round that's frustrating to watch. Blade Storm available for Buzz as well.
Yeah. Oh, this is so exciting to watch.
A bit of a bankroll established already by DRX.
And Yay not getting where he wanted to be, and this has to relinquish any sort of early pressure he might have wanted to bring. Has to now respect the early work put into place by DRX and an adjustment here. Marco actually finding a little bit of room to work. Now, there is a turret up here, and Vanity is playing behind it, but still, I wonder if Marco does start trying to test this potentially. A very different approach from DRX now.
I'm playing very deep on this, and actually DRX find a bit of space in mid to split, and actually the first opener, Buzz will find one. Zeppa will respond.
But Marco won out in mid as well, so they are now surrounded on this B side. There's no comfort for Zeppa here. He couldn't fall back. This is gorgeous work from DRX. This is the DRX that made people fall in love with this roster. So tactical and technical in approach, and now Zelsis and Yay really just out of place on this, not able to find too much work yet. RB, the only one really spotted. Yay trying to find Marco. Still, Zelsis the one to do it. Yay can now stretch his legs a little further. Red's gonna come in, okay, back up to 3. We've got a bit of a round on our hands now. Yay, good for it on towards RB, but how do you break the back line? Ult gonna come in, this gets trickier. Spotted, seen on the cross. Yay goes down, a tap on the spike, but they can't quite see it. They need to get on towards this. Got to take down Vanity and find the final player. Stax has it, and DRX remain flawless in the run here on Icebox.
Starting to get a little worried here for Cloud9. Whether or not the response is what we saw Yay hinting at in the previous round. Denying some of this early space. The DRX have sent this fake previously towards B. But this audible towards B, this utility towards Zeppa is beautiful. He has no space to play whatsoever. Cloud9 trying to get away with a cheeky defuse. Gonna call the timeout here, and rightly so. You need to get a firm grasp on this early round. Whether or not the operator is something to maybe consider for Cloud9, they don't have the funds to support it. Unfortunately, that's where the question comes back to. Obviously, some of these throw a bulldog, throw a stinger into some of these rounds. And when you're on the back foot, those full buy rounds become so much more delicate, way more fragile. I'll be almost on another lockdown as well. 10-2 right now for him. So Des touched on him being at times a little underwhelming with how much hype there was around this player, but delivering here in Sao Paulo once again.
Cloud9, this is the question that gets brought to my mind. Still a relatively new roster to an extent when you look at them, you know, reshuffling, rebuilding. The depth and the capability now to deal with a whole new look of DRX. We have not seen them really break this out yet. We haven't seen a common run of Harbor in this, and it's serving its purpose well here. Very, you know, fine adjustments, but it's working wonders. So I want to see how well Cloud9 learn on the fly. Do they have that capability yet? 3 plays stacked down towards B-Long with actually intention behind it. They are getting quite close here. Ye is willing to backfill this.
Much deeper exploration from Cloud9. But again, now they just don't have the bodies to defend A site, so Vanity has to sit back and watch almost.
Yeah, they can't challenge this. They're depending on this squad here, this little squadron moving around the back lines behind the wire. But you can see the preparations there. Ye's just going to be brute force. And it's incredible again from Ye. They need this man to heat up here if they want to find for anything. But DRX are holding. The plant's still in, and the final 2 were on the other side of this site. They haven't really questioned the plant just yet. First player spotted by Dice. The second will be noted in Zephyr. RB should be all too aware, but he's not. He's overwhelmed. Still going to try and close the gap here. Still going to try and get close by. Buzz going to be playing the seconds here. The crossfire is good. DRX up to 6.
And these are the sort of post plants I was talking about on Pearl. DRX getting themselves into very deep positions. So difficult for Cloud9 to dig them out. And relying on those fundamentals. It's starting to shine now. This is even with Ye. This adjustment was beautiful. Great read from DRX though, knowing that obviously that site presence is going to be a little weaker with the emphasis on the flank. First time we've seen some aggression from Cloud9, but like I said, there's not an awful lot behind this purchase. So now, they have to show restraint.
Speaking of, we very rarely in this roster's lifetime, lovely from Zephyr, seeing them playing from the back foot. We have to see how Cloud9 look in this position.
Lockdown removed as well. RB had it back online here, so DRX going to have to find some way to recover this round.
Here.
Buzz hasn't been given an opening duel here.
Here.
Zest potentially going to have his recon back online by the time he makes it across the B main. There's 3 players at Cloud9 here. Vanity towards Connector.
6-1 base, 6-1.
Leaf all the way in Snowman.
Zelsis to see if he can make it look as good as Som. Absolutely not. Buzz up and over, no problem there, no sweat to it. The site's somewhat under control already. And maybe Vanity a little further ahead, but I don't know if he's going to get much. Yes, he does. Slips the net really well, and Leaf in tow. This is perfect, actually. Cloud9 just ahead of some of those positions, overwhelmed. Strike back from Cloud9 finally.
Forcing DRX into an uncomfortable position. You find the opener here onto Zelsis, but not going to matter too much. Curious now if the funds are there to get an operator. Still not in play for Ye.
No.
Stack's about to be back on another ultimate as well. This is a tough position. Cloud9 basically need to win out another flawless here to really equalize the economy. Still, they're at a disadvantage in terms of the ultimates.
And again, remind yourself that 7th round that was converted. RB went down pretty early on, missed out on a great deal of that. So now let's see if potentially Cloud9 can get another one of those. Just get us a free pick, please. Ye's doing serious work on the other side of the map here, taking complete space towards A, sees nothing. So again, we'll allow for that rotation to come in early, and DRX going through the motions. The site take is in play.
Try and get this down again inside the cove. Lockdown destroyed already. Get a free plant and they'll get away with it. The Viper Spit will actually cover the plant as well.
This is quite nice. Pressure now mounting, Zelsis falling. And time now has to be respected. A big response, heavily invested around it. Plenty of ults put into play. And now we look at what they've got remaining here for this retake. 3 players lined up. RB have to greet them with a smile here. Stack's the one to draw blood. Buzz by his side. It is a shutout. They've got to go away from here. They've got to get that save. You said it had to be flawless if it was meant to be even good for them long-term, economy-wise. They're barely making it out with surviving casualties.
Be able to scrape together a purchase.
Well.
Wow. Not with Zephyr falling. Maybe still Vanity's going to be the concern, but
7-1.
Should be there or thereabouts. Big investment from DRX to pull this one across the line.
but it has broken the money.
That effectively resets it. Yeah, Cloud9 are back in the same position they were 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, absolutely worth its weight in gold there.
And look at the other side now. DRX back in the position they were 4 rounds ago when they had a massive bankroll established.
Yeah, 6.9 on Buzz, 5.8. Yeah, they are sitting so pretty in that regard. And now Cloud9 needs to somehow do this with the light armor coming out. A little bit of a different look here. 4-1 split. Gonna leave Marco to deal with any pressure coming through on B. And there's that ult. We'll wait and see if invested. Counter ult from Leaf. And RB's already on the site though, already trying to hunt him down. And RB is just rabid at the moment. He's shutting this down perfectly. That's a Viper's pick gone, and that A defense has crumbled now.
Actually utilising the information from Stax' ult there perfectly. Reading that this is going to be the lighter stack. The emphasis has been B for Cloud9.
Yeah, the tap on the spike's not drawn too much attention, really. They know it's all for naught here. Only Vanity to really find much back, and they still need to break this back line. They have no lurk coming in. Still no one on that spike, not even halfway right now.
They have to save.
Yeah, they've got to back out of this.
Stax puts up a second wall. The snake bites can come through, the shock darts can come through, and they can't push because they'll be slowed. It's beautiful from DRX.
Masterclass work here from DRX. Technical capability once again shining. Yes, they will lose a player here at the end, but that's irrelevant to outcome. 8-1 now. This is blistering work from DRX.
Yeah, he's going to be struggling. It's going to be a Guardian, a Spectre for Leaf. A big ultimate in the form of the Viper's Pit invested here in the previous, when you consider the defensive half for Cloud9.
Man, Cloud9, they're a boisterous team on stage, and I like it. I'm all for it. Stax does it. I don't mind teams trying to get in each other's heads. I actually really like that. But when you are down 1-8, that deciding map, it does start to weigh heavily on you. Looking a lot quieter here, Cloud9. Not really found that response to this. The first challenge being fought for here. Leaf trying to get in the faces a little. It does eventually fall away.
This progress through A though. Marco's going to be tested. There's 3 members of Cloud9.
Oh,
They're actually following through.
He's sitting so deep on this. Marco,
Nice,
great
Marco.
work with 2 there.
Nice,
he can hold back the third. He's over challenge. He wants it. He's got it. Cloud9 crumbling here. The Prime Gaming flawless to boot. DRX are running this game right now. They are about to send Cloud9 home at this pace.
Just look towards the money again. Cloud9, if they do commit to this investment, round 12 is going to be devastating for them.
Yeah.
Besides the 3K from Ye, not going to have the Blade Storm. Haven't seen that operator once on the defensive half.
Not been allowed to.
No. They've been in an absolute chokehold in terms of the economy. Buzz going to open this up. Zelsis off the rip. Ye will be noted as well.
This is going to be a horrible feeling for Cloud9. It's starting to fall between their fingertips here, and it's a 1-for-1. It ain't enough. They already had the advantage, and yeah, Zephyr trying to backfill this, but it's going to be perfect for DRX. They're already on the site. The plant's going to be coming in. It's safe as well. Nothing to stop it. Stax getting away scot-free, and the post plant is dirty to try and break. Oh, come on! Come on! Leaf trying to pick up the pieces. But it's all for nothing. DRX making it to 10.
And you look at what worked on Haven, C9 getting ahead of some of these post-plant setups, not allowing DRX to find that comfort here. A total contrast. Total contrast. Cloud9 barely getting a look in some of these rounds.
God, it's just perfection watching.
Yeah, DRX are playing flawless Valorant here on map 3.
This is going to be the game that gets reviewed by all the analysts. It's going to be all over Reddit looking at all these new setups, the way DRX are approaching. This is the DRX that enamored the audience, that got everyone looking at this Korean side going, oh my god, who are they? And as much as Ye could try, and he is, it still may not be enough here. Another round, a consolation prize potentially.
First time they get away scot-free with an opening engagement, to be honest.
The last round was exactly like this. They had that first entry pick that came on towards RB. I think it was with the Hunter's Fury off the back of Zephyr's early work. And yes, they were stabilized, but these haven't been frequent.
DRXO still got their sights set towards 8. 2 shock darts, 2 snake bites to work with, so they can still reset towards this post plant.
You shouldn't be losing a 5v3 at this point. Cloud9 need everything they can get here. Vanity the first to be willing to touch the spike. Pings come in and Marco denies Leaf. And now just down to Stax and Marco to make this work. Rez coming in more, bodies being put on the spike, but the spike is still not being defused right now. Zelsis, the second attempt at it now, has to be dealt with. Oh, and it is Stax! Incredible work, and DRX are immovable at this point! Destined to close out this half!
And this is with the res coming through. They still convert this position. Cloud9 completely disengaged from sight. And DRX punished them for it. This is unbelievable from DRX right now.
Oh man, this is the DRX we have been waiting for. Teams reformed, they brought in the best talent they could. But you can't beat DRX right now. Incredible form, 11-1. Let's hand it back down to the desk to potentially almost wrap this one up.
Whew. Oh boy, that was not good.
That was great. What do you mean?
उड़ा रहा है, कास्टर भी उड़ा रहा है बच्चे, कास्टर भी उड़ा लेला है, कास्टर भी उड़ा लेला है। शर्म नहीं, कास्टर उड़ा लेला है, कास्टर कास्टर। एमी भाई फुल फॉर्म में थे भाई, एमी भाई गाइस जीते, एमी भाई गाइस।
You can't really win B hits without a Sage if you're just going straight through main. But if you're doubling back around, if you're shutting down in the post plant the way that DRX were, you can do it just fine. I kind of thought I underestimated how the Cove was going to be able to find value, but it was just a piece of a much bigger puzzle for DRX, and Stax was the man putting that all together. The IGL, the one playing the role that was so pivotal for this game plan, and on top of that, he's performing great individually.
Well, the wonderful thing about it is I feel like they almost ended up saving their ults for when they needed it. Their initial takes were so good that the Reckoning could come through later in the round just to sort of destabilize anything that C9 were trying to do.
And I think C9 got closest to the right idea when they tried to go for that multi-flank, but never attempted it again. Those post lanes were just so damn good, and now I don't even know if Cloud9 have a chance in hell. It's 11-1 for DRX.
Well, folks, surf's up because DRX is having a whale of a time. Let's go ahead and send it back over to your casters.
Okay, this would have to be the miracle turnaround from Cloud9 because DRX are on the verge of sending them home here. Mike, do you see a shot in hell at this? And you can be honest, because I don't.
I honestly don't. I mean, I was criticizing DRX so much in map 1 for being so sloppy, making so many mistakes that were uncharacteristic, and to come here to Icebox, to see them cook up something so robust here that C9 just didn't have an answer to. Regardless, that's the first half. To come into this, they have mountains to climb. Mountains to climb here. It starts with a pistol, always does, but it's got to be confident from the get-go.
DRX should be sky high with confidence here after that first half. Cloud9 need perfection, and nothing less will do. They make their way towards the A side. First step, and Buzz goes unchecked until then. Leaf, great find. Zephyr as well in unison. Walls there, plants in, and post-plant found. They're doing what they need to here.
5 for DRX here. Wall's going to seal off towards screens. Leaf will find another. Just making sure Stax is down. All but confirmed here for Cloud9. Well, Marco can pull something off once again. Yeah, but this wall stand is so late, it just makes it so difficult to get anything done.
First step.
And it's flawless.
You couldn't ask for anything better. They need this every single round, the whole way. And I will wait with bated breath to see it. Happy to see it if we do go that far. They're able to make this work for themselves. It's no easy task here. A capable side though, CLOUD9. It's one of the best talent North America had to offer. Picking up the most wanted player out of franchising, you could argue.
I hate to say it as well, Ye has to do so much heavy lifting here in the second half as the Jet. No flashes, it's only really Zeppa's utility. Unfortunately, with him coming off that Sky, they lose that second layer.
Stack here, Mike.
With Zelsys coming onto the Sage, it's the same thing once again.
Well, we do have a stack on the other side now, 4 players. Let's see, what can they do? It's just waiting now. Marco finds Leaf, that's not ideal. Bars, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear! This is not how it happens, right? Oh, in the second round after you did the flawless work and you asked a lot of Ye. Says he needs to be one of the main proponents here.
Vanity has a rifle though.
Okay, that's been heard.
Potential here, seeing as it's still just classics for DRX.
Can they get the spike back? Yeah, okay, Ye's got that. Oh, but he'll go down for it! Is this how they get to 12? Unreal, Vanity's dead!
Absolute disaster. DRX have flipped the Thrifty in round 2. That could be the nail in the coffin. I feel it will be. With the investment in that first round, Ye will get a Guardian. Zeppa an opportunity to do the same. But Stingers and a Sheriff to round this out. And this is just classics. I think there was one Frenzy in the DRX purchase and it was removed immediately.
Oh.
Well,
just
that's
a
why,
gut punch.
That's why you don't shoot Stax' body in round 1.
Yeah. And here it is, 12-2. You wouldn't believe it if you only saw the first map, but here we are, DRX, so resilient in this game. And this map has been unbelievable. Buzz, first found, looks for more, once more, won't get it, Stax is there by his side! And it just looks all but over. 2 remaining, Ye and Zeppa have it all to do, and so little to do it with. And RB standing there, Ye knows it. The final couple of seconds, the CLOUD9 Colossus has crumbled as DRX demolish them. CLOUD9 are going home.
DRX, what a flip on this series. I was talking about obviously watching that first series from CLOUD9 and talking about how phenomenal the form that they brought here to Sao Paulo. Showed it again in map 1 of this series.
Yes, they did. Against a better opponent, you gotta say it.
Absolutely. DRX completely flipping the script on this series.
Yeah, on the screen now, gotta give credit there. That map 1 showing all that potential that CLOUD9 are gonna be bringing for the rest of the year. A team to certainly look out for. Only the one name crossed out for now, but God almighty, that is a terrifying team in the future.
It really is, and it's something that's almost you have to take with a pinch of salt. C9 take nothing away from what they brought to this event. There's so many positives to go back and look at. But DRX, the old faithful on the international stage, take down a hot prospect.
They are one of the only real remaining teams as it stands coming into this year. And you can see what they bring, the depth that they bring. You can't help but love them. The depth that they have shown here, they were not wasting their time during that downtime at all, Mike. I feel they've been hard at work. That composition coming out here on Icebox was wonderful. Haven still looking solid as ever. And yes, Pearl was a drop, but hey, CLOUD9 I think are one above everyone else on
Absolutely,
that map.
and it's great to see as well. I love the fact that we talk about DRX coming in, being the first to kind of innovate with these B-sides hits. They bring out this composition and it looks fantastic. And even the Death's touching on some of the second layers behind the Cove, that safe plant, Buzz being pinnacle in terms of finding success here on Icebox.
RB, solid as a rock as well. Gotta say it, we've seen him run out of gas a couple of times, not always, you know, hitting the games that matter. A couple of players, we've always questioned that longevity to their capability. Here, I have no doubts with them.
Absolutely not. Excited to see DRX continue. Heartbreaking to send CLOUD9 home after the performance we've seen. And already, these players, even ahead of this tournament, but making a name for themselves on the international stage. Zephyr, standout performance here already.
Thanks for tuning in. मिलते हैं अपन अगली स्ट्रीम में. चलो, bye bye. Love you all.